Charles Haley. You're listening to Nothing But Niners.
So now they've got to start from deep in their end of the field, and Garrison Hurst takes advantage of it. He takes the handoff, switches to his right, gets to the 20. He's in the 30, needs to cut in. He comes back up the right sideline, breaks the third tackle, comes down to the 30. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! 49ers! 96-yard run from scrimmage. Garrison Hurst.
Young, back to throw. In trouble, he's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again, to the 35, got back at the 30, to the 20, the 50, the 10. He died. Touchdown, 49ers.
7-11, 27-yard line. 49ers into the backfield. Smith on third down. He'll take it himself for first down. Alex Smith gets in. Touchdown.
His left hip. Third down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking down in the post, and it's good! Touchdown! Touchdown, 49! But it's second down. Ryan takes the snap, throws the flag to the left side. It's Russell, intercepted! The 49ers pick it, and Navarro Bowman is redemption! Navarro Bowman running it all the way for a touchdown! No greater redemption!
Kaepernick shoots it. Hold everybody. Colin Kaepernick. What a game. Touchdown.
Yeah. Click, click, boom. What's going on, people? The Nothing But Niners crew is back, and we are here to bring you guys a fun-filled show. Now, listen, guys, we're going to go run through these formalities. We're going to get all this stuff out the way, but we have a very, very important announcement here. This show, we do not want you guys to make any contributions because we will have the comments unseen today. All right, we are all going to go full screen, and we are going to do basically like some barbershop talk. We're just going to sit back and talk 49ers. No topics in particular. I imagine there's going to be some yelling. There's going to be some screaming. There's going to be some cussing each other out. And then Eric's going to be like, hey, man, I got nothing to do with this. I just want y'all to check out my podcast. I don't know. So we're going to see what happens, guys. All right. So before I get down to these formalities, I just want to remind everybody to please hold back on the contributions. And if you pop in late, you make a contribution and we don't see it, we don't post it, don't take it personal. We are not going to be able to see any of the comments, okay? So I'm going to run through the formalities and we'll see how everybody's doing, and then we're going to get to business, okay? So if this is your first time here on the YouTube page, we want to thank you guys. Please do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Also turn on your notifications so you know exactly where we're going live. Often we bring you guys impromptu breaking news videos, and you will not get a heads up like you did for this evening's show. So make sure you have those notifications turned on, okay? We have a couple of different social media platforms. We have Twitter and Snapchat. Those handles are Nothing But 9 ERS. That is the number 9 in there, Nothing But 9 ERS. We have Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitch, and that is Nothing But Niners, spelled all the way out. So make sure you guys stop by, hit us up, be social. I'm your guy, 49ers Mike _NFL. Next to me is my man Nick, 49er Faithful 365. Next to him is our guy Breezy. He is Wayne Breezy. That's it, just Wayne Breezy, no number. You got like the only one with no number. No, okay. And then below me over here is Eric Crocker with the underscore in between, Eric _Crocker. And then last but certainly not least, we have Brian over there, Stater Niner. All right, fellas. How are y'all doing? What's going on, guys?
Yo.
All right.
This real quick, man.
All right. So you got to give me the update. You know it's our ritual now. It's our routine, man.
Down,
like
I'm down 7-0, yo. 7-0.
Are you the Ravens? Like what's going? Who are you playing against?
I'm always the Niners. I'm playing the Bucks, yo.
Okay, this guy is a glutton for punishment, so we know what Breeze is going to be doing and talking about tonight over there. He can be like, "We need somebody else in the secondary. It's Tom Brady. Why can't we get off?" Like, we just know what's coming tonight from Breezy. What about everybody else? How's everybody else doing, guys?
Chilling, man. Another snowstorm coming in.
You got another storm coming in? You always got snow out and stuff out there. And even if it's not snowing, it's blowing off of stuff. Now, your background tonight was pretty dope. I'm going to see if I can make that full screen real quick. It looked like, to me, you were dumping on Texas. It looks like San Francisco on top of Texas. Am I the only one that sees that? It's just me?
I
Yeah.
can kind of see it. I kind of see the Texas at the bottom of the boot a little. Yeah, I see the little.
Yeah, that's just what I thought. Brian's always got the interesting little backgrounds over there. I like that, man. I like that. Croc, what's going on with you, man? How you doing?
Oh man, I was just chilling. Ready to talk some football, 49er football, as usual.
We're gonna let you get your promotions off too, I promise, man, because you're doing a lot of good stuff out there for people. And hi baby. And I definitely want you to let everybody know the kind of stuff that you're working on. So we're gonna get to that. But my man Nick, what's going on, man? Okay, so between the red hairs, the green background, you just remind me of Irish. Like I feel like there should be a 4-leaf clover over. Like you got the pointy ears out right there. I feel like a leprechaun is looking me in the face. Like what's going on, man? Good luck, Sean.
Bro. You know my last name, O'Hara. Can't get no more Irish than that.
Oh,
baby. Nah, man, just chilling. I'm glad to see everybody up in here. Glad to see Croc too, man. I just haven't seen him in a while, so I see you doing your shit over there over at Rise Athletics, man. I see you pumping them little kids up. I love it. Love to see it. But you mentioned something about my beard, but man, I haven't seen you with a beard in like forever. Remember when you're like, oh, can you even grow one? But look, Crocky's got it.
I know, a lot of hard work and dedication.
Man, COVID beard. If y'all stop it, y'all know the barbershop's been shut down. Let me stop. I'm just playing. I'm hating.
Hey, no, I started, the whole thing with No Shave November, and then I'm like, oh shit, like I got an actual beard growing in, so I just stuck with it. My wife likes it, so once the wife likes it, you just kind of can't let it go.
They like that tickle, man.
I've been okay. Okay, so we just gonna kick it off just like that. Okay, we're gonna get right to it. Now, I do have 2 video clips to get to, and then that's gonna do it for the stuff, and then we're gonna just start talking shit. We're gonna do it actually from these video clips here. So the first thing that I want to post is actually not a video, but talk about dumping on Texas, right? This is going around right now on Twitter. Russell Wilson has not asked to be traded, but would only consider the Cowboys, Saints, Raiders, and Bears, per Adam Schefter. Now, guys, why the hell are we talking about this on the 49ers podcast? Like, why would I bring this up? I'll tell you my reason, and you guys let me know if I'm crazy. I say let Dak go to Dallas. Let
Russell.
Yeah, let Russell go to
Croc's got a creeper.
That fucked me up, man. I was trying to give my man a signal. Yo, somebody behind you, yo. Let Russ go to Dallas, and then we get Dak. Like, why can't we just do something like that? Who would be against that? Honestly, would y'all be against that?
No, but they're not going to trade him to if he was traded, they're not going to trade him to an NFC partner.
Right.
So, I mean, they'd be stupid if they did. Like,
the only feasible one on that list was the Raiders.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any guys, Breezy, Croc, you guys have any thoughts on that? Now, by the way, he does have like a crazy cap hit. Like if he's traded, it's like $39 million. Like dead cap if he's traded. So they're not trading him. It was just fun on Twitter today for about 30 minutes, and then reality set in.
I think, ideally you would say, or, even kind of being more realistic, you would say like, nah, like with that kind of dead cap, there's no way to get rid of him. But this offseason, we've seen stranger things. I think, Philly took a huge cap hit trading away Carson Wentz. So it seems like teams have, or even the Rams, they took a huge cap hit getting rid of Jared Goff. So it seems like teams, for whatever reason, this year have been more willing to eat that dead cap and just do it moving, So, I mean, I would assume that the situation with Seattle and Russell Wilson, like, Seattle's going to be more reluctant to not want to get rid of him, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, like, and, in the other cases with Carson Wentz, with Jared Goff, like, the team just didn't want them anymore. So, I'm pretty sure Seattle wants Russell, so they're not going to want to trade him away. But teams, it's like what cap hit? Like they've been taking these huge cap hits this offseason. So I guess nothing's kind of out of the question. I guess I'd say.
We're going to come back to that. It's a very, very, very good point. But go ahead, Breezy. Go ahead and jump in here, man. I know you got something.
Right. He's right. I mean, unless you're a 49ers fan, I mean, we're the only team that don't take chances. We're the only team scared of caps. We're the only team that's scared to do anything.
And we don't even get a cap hit. If we let go our quarterback, ain't no cap hit. We still won't.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, yeah, man. I mean, teams are trying to make moves and do what they got to do, but I agree, man. There's no way they're trading Russell Wilson unless Russell Wilson puts up, "I'm not playing," and I think he's too old for that. You know what I'm saying? Well, maybe he's not. I don't know.
All right, Brian. Any final thoughts on it before we move on?
Nope.
All right. Now, listen, man. You guys are talking about the cap hits and stuff, and we're going to get to it. But I want to start tonight's show with some hate. Y'all can say what y'all want about me, but there was a video going around on Twitter today that I saw, maybe yesterday, and it bothered the hell out of me. So I'm gonna click this.
Oh, you got to catch that Kittle. This is the Kittle from 2020 right here, yo.
Oh, speaking of.
He just dabbed on him. All
Yeah.
right.
George
All right,
Kittle
Kitty.
posted this video, and it annoyed the shit out of me. And I honestly, I don't know why. I'm starting to think that I'm just a George Kittle hater, and I'm gonna have to accept it. Why is he posting this video? Was he promoting something?
Yeah, he was promoting the robot. He did the same thing last year.
Those machines exist. What is there to promote? Like they're all over NFL.
Maybe he's sponsored by them, Mike. And he.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen a machine like that other than him using it. Like,
Yeah,
that's actually really
that was a custom machine that he had made last year.
That machine's kind of dope, though. I wonder if it
I'm
speeds
sorry.
up.
So I'm the only person that's ever seen the machine that throws the football for the people to
no,
catch.
no, you do
like
see
that.
you see that, but it's somebody there, and then manually put the ball in there, and then the ball shoots out. That is like a robot thing where like you don't even need you don't need nobody else.
So y'all were impressed with the rotor, and it was a 6-shooter.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool because you don't need anybody else to, usually like to use one of those machines, like you need somebody else with you. With his, it's like, hey, I can just go put balls in my machine and fill it up and then just go out there and it just shoots. Yeah, pause. Like I think that's pretty cool though. I mean, if you have the money,
you have to say pause.
yeah, yeah. I mean, so yeah. No, I just think it's a cool machine. Like I don't care about the video, but it is a cool machine.
It was all right. Okay, so maybe that's what. Maybe I don't know. I don't know.
You've seen a 6-shooter before?
No, not like no. But he still needs somebody there. He's not going to run 6 routes and then turn around and load it up again, and then run 6 more routes and load it up again. And it's remote controlled. Also, it is a pretty cool machine. Let me stop hating. It's remote control, so there's somebody there with him. And I don't know if you guys saw it was like angling, then it went low.
Yeah,
for the last one.
it changes different on different each one. It changes the ball
Right.
path.
There's a person with a remote that can control it to make it, whichever way they want it to go, and just see how he does. So he still needs somebody there with him. But I don't know, man. I feel like there's a lot of self-promotion going on with this guy. It's starting to irk me a little bit.
Well, I'll say this though. You gotta like if you can self-promote, then I feel like you should do it, Not, obviously, like there's some people that do it like at the expense of the team, like who was Antonio Brown in the locker room after winning. He's like, yeah, and I'm like, promoting Facebook or whatever he was doing, like not in that way, but I mean, stuff like this. If that's something that he invested in, you don't know, he might have invested into that business. So he's showing that he uses it and the benefits of it, and from that standpoint, like that could be something that. Is good money for him. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I could see that being the case.
Yeah, and he was endorsing. I mean, it's custom to him too because it has the Joker on it. It has like you can customize it to how
What's
you
up
want
with
it.
46? Anybody else see I saw it was custom.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be 85 on top, but yeah, it wasn't.
Was that his number in college, maybe, or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, his number in college was 46.
Oh, so damn. So he didn't even get the number. That's why it annoyed me. I'm a lie. That's why it annoyed me.
I don't know. Speaking of Antonio Brown, he was promoting those white girls though that he said he was going to stay away from.
Well, he was only staying away from him in 2020, but it's 2021 now.
Yeah, so it's 2021 now, so it's all right.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck y'all are talking about.
Where did the Antonio Brown
Because Antonio Brown was saying that he was going to stay away from white girls, and when
He
he
said
won,
no. He said no white women.
girl.
Yeah, no white women 2020 or whatever.
Yeah,
Y'all don't remember that?
I remember it.
I think I remember. It was a hashtag for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he was at the Super Bowl celebrating with a white chick.
During Black History. That dude rude as fuck.
New year, new season, yo. That's how he looking at it.
All right, so then, all right, guys, look, man, we going. All right, so this is my challenge for everybody, man. My challenge is this: everybody's probably on the computer or whatever right now. There's an option if you're looking at the screen, the bottom right of the picture that we're all in, where you can go full screen. So my challenge to everybody is to click that so we get the full submersive view of ourselves. We're not, like I said, we're trying not to read the chat or anything like that tonight. We're just going to go straight off the dome and just talk some 49ers football because there is a lot going on. Nick just playing with everybody's. What is
Nick's just going to take over the show. It's my show now.
So, there's a lot of stuff that's going on with this team. And at the same time, there is nothing going on with this team. So John Lynch came out and he's saying Jimmy's our guy, but he's saying more of the same thing, right? Guys, why haven't the 49ers extended Jimmy Garoppolo? Can we have an honest conversation about this, please? Brian, you go first.
No.
Come on, man. You got to do it because you're going to hold it down for that side. You know it.
I'm going to have to go with what John said. I mean, they're just not ready to open up that cap space yet because they're going to leave all options on the table, and they're going to continue to look to improve from Jimmy. And if they find that possible with Deshaun or Dak or Russell Wilson somehow, something that's a significant upgrade, they want to be able to do that. And if they touch that money, that takes that option away completely. So, I mean, they're going to have to look at, if they're going to need to open up that cap space at some point in time, then they're going to have to extend Jimmy. I mean, it's just part of the process. I can't see any other way around it. I mean, you look at the other potential cap hits on the team, and unfortunately, they've already restructured Richburg at one point. They restructured Ford, which is why we're in that situation. I expect that Richburg is going to get cut unless we hear something otherwise with his injury. And so the only real other way to open up money is to start, you could release your COVID guys that'll give you like 3.8 million. Mark and Zacha is another 1.5, but I mean, there's just not a lot of places to get a huge chunks of money on this roster right now. And so I think they're just going to kind of let that sit until they're absolutely certain they cannot move on.
Yeah, but we have free agency that's coming up really, really soon. The team needs cap. If we're talking about bringing back guys like Trent Williams and we're talking about trying to sign some corners, there's not enough money out there. There's not now. Obviously, the cap space is not exactly what's available to sign somebody. I get that. Right. So 13 million or 20 million, however you're looking at it, that doesn't mean that that's all you have to play with, right? Because you can structure some stuff and you can do some things with it. But the team is kind of up against it right now. And I feel like we're being held back from a couple of different players. Now, Eric earlier said something that I thought was really interesting. I think, Brian, you piggybacked on it also. No, Wayne. Wayne is the one who piggybacked on it. You guys said, we seem like the only team that's afraid to take that cap hit. When Eric was talking about everybody else is like, it's a different season now. People are like, hey, we're going to take that loss and move on. Is that an option for D Ford? Because I got into a long little tidbit early this morning or late last night with a couple of people on Twitter talking about D Ford's contract, right? And it's 11-something million, almost 12 million for if he's injured. It's 20 million if he's on the roster. We could cut him, but isn't 20 minus 11 9? Like, can we save 9? Is that how it works? Like,
well, it depends on what the injury guarantee is. That's what it is, and nobody knows what that number is.
Mm-hmm. The injury guarantee is the 11.6, ain't it?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think that they've released what the exact conditions of the contract as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, it's all speculation right now as to what the number is, and that's why they said Matt Maiocco was saying it's very tricky with D Ford because you don't know. Nobody knows what that injury guaranteed money is. So if he fails a physical, they don't know how much money that is that he's going to be guaranteed for that such and such. So they don't know it may be easier to keep him compared to cutting him and him getting his injury guarantee. It may be easier to keep him for that year. So I don't know. Until I know what that number is, that contract there is kind of really tricky to follow because we don't know the exact numbers on it. So that's where we're kind of stuck at. I think as a fan, that's where I'm stuck at.
And like I told you guys on the last show, I mean, I ran a scenario through over the cap where I actually did an extension, and that opened up quite a bit of money, extended forward, and that opened up money because that's another option. That's another way to get around that restructure that they did.
Yeah.
And if they feel like there's any potential that he could ever come back to this team, that's a possibility. I mean, you're looking outside the box, obviously, but that's a possibility.
Croc, who is the top corner on the market right now? Because the Niners need one, at least one. Who's the top corner on the market? Who are you targeting for the 49ers? You know the system, you know the fits, and you know these guys that are out there. Like, who is it, and how we getting them?
I'm going to draft. Like, I'm not signing someone free agency. I mean, free agency, you're going to overpay. So, with cornerbacks, my daughter, with cornerbacks that, are going to be on the market and whatnot, like, you're going to have to pay a ton of money for them. Obviously, 49ers are already up against the cap. If I was going to bring anybody back, it would be Verrett. I wouldn't look outside of anybody else. Aside from that, I would go to draft. I just tweeted out the other day, like, I think this is the perfect time. And you guys, we always have these conversations. I never thought the 49ers were really going cornerback over the last couple of years, but this is the first time that they've had like the big time opportunity to really go all in on the cornerback position and kind of revamp that position that really greatly needs revamping, So, I mean, I would draft like 3 corners and kind of just have guys that I can build around and put money into that front, like if you want to spend money in free agency on a player, like spend it on like a defensive end like Ngakoue or whatever to go, alongside Bosa. Like, but as far as the secondary goes, I would go young from that aspect and just, develop those guys, but have a mean pass rush in front of them.
All right, so then Breezy, how early are you taking a corner in the draft?
I'll take a corner at 12. There's 3 guys I'll take at 12.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, I mean, if Surtain is there, obviously you'll probably go that route. I'm a big, I like Caleb Farley. I think he's a big size lockdown corner on the outside from Virginia. But my guy, I'm going to South Carolina. There's something about this South Carolina school I like all of a sudden. Like I couldn't
you just
stand
like
him.
saying Gamecock.
I definitely don't. Did you hear me say the word Gamecock? Did you ever?
Hey, I remember wanting to see South Carolina play Oregon State because watching the Cox play the Beavers the whole game would be fucking amazing.
Damn, we got Cox and Beavers. What the hell's going on up in here?
The crazy thing is you didn't even hear me say that. I straight up said South Carolina.
I never heard you say it. I never heard. But I put that shit on you. Hey, E, your daughter can't hear us, can she?
Nah.
Okay, all right.
He got the beats on, dog.
Nah, I never heard you say it, but I threw it on you anyway, man. I ain't care.
But give me there's something about JC Horn that I like, man. I know there's just some things he's got to learn, but there's just something about his tenacity and his coverage skills that I like. And he's a good tackler too. So I feel like that's the guy 49ers might. I don't know if you want to draft him at 12. I don't know if you could trade back and he might be there at like 20, possibly. But I don't know how the draft's going to pan out, man. And I'm going to keep it a buck. I don't know who the hell the 49ers are drafting. None of us do. We hope we draft. I don't even want them to draft the guys I like. Hopefully they'll pick somebody that I like, since I'm not going for anybody in the draft. I'm gonna pick guys that I don't think they're going to draft, and hopefully that plays a trick on me. But I definitely like JC Horn.
Okay. All right.
I like his counterpart
in the first round. Like
his counterpart, you can get later in the draft, and I like him too. Israel
from the South Carolina,
yeah.
Let me ask you a question. It's going to sound weird, but I guess it's a legitimate question. Well, obviously it's a question, but if Rich Berg's not here, what's more important, center or corner right now in the draft?
We could supplement a center too. Like we can go try to get one of them.
But we've tried that. That's why I'm asking. Do you think that's a big need for this as big as a corner? Or do you think it
is a need, but the center position isn't valued as much high in the draft. So like people aren't typically drafting like a center at 12 or
Right.
top 15, top 20. I think I saw Kelly or whatever from the one that went to the Colts. I think the Colts drafted the center like around 20 but like that was like a rarity. You typically don't see interior offensive line drafted like high. There's Quentin Nelson, there's the Kelly dude, and then outside of that, everybody else is tackles if they go in the first round. So
Right.
it's definitely, obviously it's going to be a need. Maybe they have an idea of someone they like in free agency. I know, maybe Alex Mack or whatever. I know his name gets thrown around because he played for Shanahan, but that they probably would go that route if they can find somebody, especially like Alex Mack, who's older, so you might not have to pay a ton of money to get him. That would be kind of an ideal route to go.
Yeah. I just have a feeling the Niners are going to go another defensive lineman at 12.
You go take Barmore.
I just have a feeling that they're going to go lineman at 12 defensively, and then probably
edge.
What's that? Yeah, edge wise, especially with Ford, they want to pair somebody, and with the cap being the way that it is, obviously first round picks, get more money than seconds and thirds, and obviously, it lowers as you go down the ranks, but I just don't see this team shying away from defensive linemen at 12. I
hope they don't force it, I just tweeted out the other day about how, it was like, we need defensive end. Like we all knew we needed edge rusher. So what they do, they drafted Solomon Thomas and put him at edge when that wasn't like a natural position for him.
Right.
So it was like they forced the position. If it doesn't seem like it's like the strongest in the edge rushing class. So it's like, if it's somebody like, if you have all these guys higher, say even maybe a position that's not necessarily a need, but even if it's like a more explosive receiver, right? They've been looking for that explosive guy. That's why they signed guys like Tavon Austin, JJ Nelson, Benjamin. And if you see somebody like Waddle there, and you have him higher on your board, then you have whoever the next best edge rusher is, go with Waddle. Get you somebody that's going to really help your team right now instead of forcing what you think is a need and then the guy not pan out. Like that would be like the worst thing to do, especially at this time right now where the 49ers are with kind of trying to reload a little bit the roster.
Oh, one other thing before we get going, keep going, is in your opinion, secondary is probably the strongest that's in this draft, right? That's for everybody. Everybody can answer that.
Yeah, skill position players in general are really strong. I mean, it feels almost like they're going to be strong every year right now. I don't know, but they've been kind of pumping out good, talented prospects at skill positions just in general. So, yeah, cornerback, there's solid receivers in this class, maybe not as deep as last year's, but really good guys where, I could see, 5 receivers going first round, and whatnot. So, I think in general it's just it's a good class for skill position players.
Well, back to the original question, I think it's probably easier and maybe even smarter to get a veteran center. You want someone who has been playing long enough to identify NFL style defenses, and then go ahead and get the young secondary pieces. So that was your original question. That was my thought on it, because we've seen the 49ers do that when they put together that year with, I'm going to bite my finger off and keep playing football. Like when they came out there that year with that secondary, that's what happened, So I think that you go veteran offensive lineman and get the young secondary in the draft. As far as like going after an edge guy, I think this is the first year in a long time that the Niners can set a board based off of talent, not need. You look at a couple years past, and it was clearly we have to get an edge guy. Like we have to, right? Like he said, we tried to force it with Solomon Thomas. Doo-doo. All right, here comes Bosa. If he's there, he is the guy, right? We've seen years like where the Niners obviously have. That's the position they're going after in the first round. This year, there's so many needs, you can't necessarily say that. So they might be able to set a real big board and just say, this guy's the most talented, and then go down that way and then just select the best available on your board at that time, and that's why it's so hard for people to sit here and put their finger on. I think the Niners are likely to get this guy. I just don't think that. I think that's why everyone's struggling to do it this year, right? I mean,
I think the quarterback thing kind of throws it off too, because everybody wants the 49ers to kind of go quarterback, or at least, most people do. They want 49ers to get a quarterback as well. So it's kind of like trying to figure out how to fit in a quarterback with all the other needs that the 49ers
That's what I'm saying.
have.
Quarterback can be on that board of your top 12. That's what I'm saying. Like,
even quarterback has priority. So, even if you have, say, I saw, and it has to be your guy, though. You know what I'm saying? But if your guy at quarterback is there, I don't know how much like Justin Fields, but I'll throw his name out there because I saw Mel Kiper might come to the Niners today. If he's there, but maybe you have Kyle Pitts over him, you still go with the quarterback, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, well, because the quarterback is going to equate to more wins directly. So that's that ratio there. All right, guys, come on. You guys have to have some concerns about this front office. There's no way I'm the only one that thinks that something's going on with this front office, right? Like Kyle, Lynch, maybe what? I feel like we want something to happen so bad that the longer something isn't happening, the more concerned you get. But then they keep pounding the table saying the same exact thing every opportunity they get. Jimmy's our guy. He's our starter. He's our starter.
Well, they say they believe that he will be the starter. It's an extra word. It's not a solidified, Jimmy will be the starting quarterback for the 49ers. It's always a different word that Lynch throws in there. I don't know if y'all peeped that.
Yeah.
Right. Even with the interview that he just did, it was, if Jimmy Garoppolo was completely healthy, are you confident that he will be the starting quarterback?
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny. So
all right.
Yeah, they said stuff too, like we expect him to be the starter. Like they've used those kind of words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think to go back to answer your question, Mike, earlier about why Jimmy Garoppolo hasn't been extended, you got to remember Jimmy Garoppolo has an out year next year also, to where they can build somebody this year to be able to take over for Jimmy next year, to where they can still have an out and save money next year.
Save more money too, I believe.
Save more money, right?
Yep.
And you heard, John Lynch go around and say, we need to get better as the backup so that if Jimmy's not in there, we can still win some football games.
I just never heard that before.
He did say that, right?
No, he said that shit.
No, he did. But my point is, I never heard shit like that before.
Right.
But what do we go back and look at? This team was way worse with any other quarterback other than Jimmy Garoppolo under center this year.
Yeah, but Jimmy's averaging 8 games a season. That's not good enough, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's not good enough. That's not good enough.
Right, but if you go and restructure your Jimmy, it depends on how you restructure him too. Because you could still save more money next year by just keeping him this year. It's kind of like the D Ford situation. You could save more money next year and have him under contract this year, to where new free agents that come in, you give more than a 1-year deal so you can backload and take money out in the contracts later down the road, so you can still sign free agents this year. And you're just not doing 1-year deals. You're doing 2-year deals or 3-year deals. And those contracts are built to when you have that cap space. So then you keep Jimmy, who's already under cap, you build a quarterback underneath of him, or if you see somebody that's better than him, then you make the move. If you don't feel that he's going to be better, then you build your own guy and see if he can take over for Jimmy, as in let him sit 1 year, could be a drafted quarterback, let him sit 1 year, see how he goes. And most quarterbacks that get drafted now don't really sit anymore. They don't really sit. But you hear coaches say that it's better for them to sit, to learn the system. And we know that Kyle Shanahan's system is, we don't know, but people say it's complicated to learn, and especially for the quarterback's position. So maybe it's better that they draft somebody, keep Jimmy here. If he's healthy, he's healthy. You know what you're going to get from him. If he's not healthy, you have to have a decent backup in some.
I think if you have somebody that's really talented, like if you draft somebody, you kind of got to play them because, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, like you'll learn some stuff sitting on the bench, but I feel like you learn more by playing. So, the game is going to be fast regardless when you start, whether it's this year or next year. I feel like a lot of these guys coming out, if that's the way they go, have the type of skill set where you can game plan around their, what they do well anyways. And I mean, we've seen, Kyle do it with, RG3 and even Cousins that year as a rookie, he played well. So, I think now, especially with the game being more spread out and wide open, guys can, come in playing well right away.
Now,
We're up there until you can't.
Croc, I mean, we're having open discussion here. So what are and you weren't on the show with us, but we were talking about, I had said, and I don't know if anybody else agreed or not. I know some didn't, but do you think Josh Rosen has an opportunity to compete against Jimmy Garoppolo this year?
No, I don't think. Well, I'm not saying he doesn't have like he couldn't compete against him. I just don't think that it's an open competition.
Right.
So I think it's
bro. Josh Rosen's not the answer. He's not.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm not saying that he's the answer. I don't know what I mean, his situations have been kind of weird. I know that he is talented to a certain extent. I think he does certain things well. He just wasn't playing very good football, but he also was on a trash ass team. So
what does he do well?
He throws a good ball. Like he is a good passer.
Yeah. Mike said that he has a shitty arm.
He's got a. I didn't say he has a shitty arm.
Yes,
his arm is better than Garoppolo.
Oh shit! Yes, you
I
did.
did not say he has a shitty arm. I said he has a weird. Okay, go ahead. Tell me what I said.
Didn't you say he had a noodle arm, basically?
No. I haven't watched. I haven't watched
no deep ball, and he can do exactly what Jimmy does and throw the intermediate passes. That's what you said.
I'm 90% sure I didn't say that.
Somebody
I said he's got a weird ass form
that,
motion.
Nick. I don't know if it was Mike.
Yes, it was Mike. Yes, it was.
I don't know. I'm not saying it was Mike, but somebody on our show said that.
And even if I did say it, having a better arm than Jimmy don't mean that you got a deep ball.
He can't throw no. Rosen,
he's very accurate. Right. That's why I said to you he was accurate downfield, and you were like, no, he's not. No, he's not. He's just like Jimmy and can only throw the intermediate passes. Those were your exact comments on it.
I've openly admitted that I haven't watched a lot of this dude because I think he looks weird.
And I said you go back and watch college tape and watch how much he threw the ball downfield.
Okay, I remember the show now because you got to go back to the UCLA game where he came back and won that game. Like this dude,
I asked for you guys to give me a game to go back and watch him look good.
We told you to watch that game.
Yeah, it was like Texas A&M or something like that, or it was something like that. Mississippi State or something. It was some team like they came back, kept on to the tight end and stuff. Rosen can't throw, like regardless. I mean, you don't have to go watch his college game. There's NFL film, so if he's not doing it in the NFL, then at this point, but he does do things well. Now, you probably would like more of a level of consistency from him, but I don't know what he can or can't be because he hasn't had time to really be able to sit in an offense and get comfortable in anything. He played a year in Arizona. I don't think he started the full year. I think Sam Bradford started, and he ended up getting replaced and whatnot with Rosen. And obviously, they only won 2 games that year, I think, both against the 49ers. But I thought he does some things well. I don't think there's no competition, though. Like, even though I think that he's as talented or more talented than Jimmy Garoppolo, obviously Jimmy Garoppolo has shown he can play better, and they're not going to go into training camp or OTAs or anything and be like, all right, this is an open competition. Like, no, they want Jimmy Garoppolo to be the guy. Like, if Jimmy's there, he's the guy. So, yeah, they're not even going to create any type of quarterback controversy or anything like that. They're not going to do it. They, especially not with Rosen. Like, Jimmy has been their guy.
It's going to be a competition, but I feel like Jimmy has had it handed to him for the past few seasons. I think it's going to be some type of – there's going to be something better.
They're going to give Jimmy every opportunity to
they've been doing
to at least tell them he's not the guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
So let me ask you this way, Croc. Could they use Josh Rosen as a push to Jimmy?
That to me, that's competition.
I mean, I guess you could say that, but I don't think so, because at the end of the day, they've told Jimmy Garoppolo, like, they're telling you, like, he is their guy. Like, I mean, until he's not. That's what it is. And he's not going to be the guy if they figure out a way. I mean, it's like, if it's not Deshaun Watson, then Garoppolo is their guy. He will be starting week 1. Now, if Garoppolo doesn't play well, then yeah, at some point he can get benched during the year. But they feel like if he is playing and he is healthy, he's going to play well. Even though, you know, we might feel a different way or whatever, but that's how they feel. If they can't upgrade from him, which they haven't been able to, they looked into it, they haven't been able to do it, they pulled a trigger or anything, he's going to be their guy. And they're not going to confuse the teammates by saying, well, yeah, he's our guy, but if Rosen comes in here and he looks better, like, nah, it's not going to be none of that. It's going to be, this is his team. But if he comes out and he starts playing shitty, which he hasn't played like terrible, like consistently, like over a stretch of games, he hasn't been like terrible. So I think
not terrible like that, because come on, we saw some bad games from this guy.
Yeah, I'd say the first 8 games of last year, 2019, he was very average. First 8 games, he was very average. But you know, obviously, he played well down the stretch. I'm just saying how they're looking at it and with their team and what he's accomplished. They're giving him every opportunity. If he's going to be here, they're going to give him every opportunity to be the guy. Now, if he plays crappy, and you know, if the eye test like what it looked like against Miami, and if it's just something that looks like that, where it's like, oh hell no, like, then yeah, you'll see a quarterback change. You'll see Rosen in there, but it's gonna take something like that. It's not gonna be like, well, Rosen throwing well in training camp, so we're just gonna, oh, now we have a quarterback controversy. It won't be anything like that,
unless the dark horse emerges that nobody wants to talk about. I said it weeks ago. I said it a long time ago.
Josh Johnson.
Hey, what does no, hell no. What NFL team, Croc, you better get this right too. What NFL team does Nick Background remind you of?
NFL, I mean Eagles.
What?
Sam Darnold.
Listen.
Here that Kyle Shanahan likes Sam Darnold. Just loves Sam Darnold, and I can't figure out where that comes from. I don't think he was really looking heavily at quarterbacks in that 2018 draft, because they had just signed Jimmy Garoppolo to that big deal. But you know, that's a name that consistently pops up, and you know, you guys are going to groan.
Shut up. That's enough. Don't start laughing at him.
I like Sam Darnold. I've been saying that since before the offseason. And I got laughed at. I've been saying that shit since before the offseason. Sam Darnold could be a 49er, and I'll
roll with Jimmy for the next 10 years before I fucking take that guy on this team.
You can't say that with confidence.
Oh, why? Why? That's the thing. Like, why?
Because I watched him play at USC, because I'm a Pac-12 guy. He's not a great quarterback.
Hold on. He played very well at USC.
Yeah.
He especially the first year as a redshirt freshman. As a redshirt freshman, he played extremely well. His sophomore year, the year he came out, he didn't play as well, but also everything around him got like bad. But even then, he still carried the team to like a Pac-12 championship. Still was, you know, played very well. Still took them, you know, they played in the Rose Bowl. Obviously, they lost to Ohio State because they had freaking Chase Young and Nick Bosa. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So like they destroyed USC's offensive line, which was bad that year. Like he had to do a whole lot that year, and he carried USC to wins. The year before, he played extremely well. And if you go back and you watch that Rose Bowl, that was an extraordinary performance by him. Like, no, he played very well at USC. Sam Darnold is talented, but again, we have the film. Like we've seen him in the NFL. Now, have we seen him in an ideal situation? Probably not, right? Probably not.
Darnold a significant upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo.
No,
he is
hold on.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Hold on. He is an upgrade from a skill set and talent wise, but that doesn't mean anything if you don't play well. Jimmy Garoppolo has played better. Now you could say, well, Jimmy Garoppolo has been in a much better position, like in a situation. and that could be your argument, but you can't definitively say that Sam Darnold is just an upgrade, because what we've seen is not an upgrade. More talented, can make more freakier plays, yes, but consistently it has not looked better.
And this is what bothers me. You're sitting here saying that he's more talented than Jimmy Garoppolo, but you haven't seen him play better than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
Based off of what? Because the only thing that you could be comparing that to is wins and losses.
Well, no, I mean, like Sam Darnold, he hasn't, the eye test is like, you see the flash plays, that's like, damn, like not too many guys can do that. But on the consistency, he's not making the throws, he's turning the ball over at an alarming rate, and not just turning the ball over like a Garoppolo, but he's not even like making any type of plays like consistently, right? I mean, there was at one point throughout the year, like he wasn't even throwing for like 200 yards, like, so he's not even like helping his team. Now, again, you could say it's the circumstances, because it's like, well, who is he throwing to? For half the year, it was Braxton Berrios and Hogan was his best receivers. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the offensive line has consistently been the worst in the NFL. Like, people look at the 49ers offensive line and they be like, oh, it's so bad. No, the Jets offensive line has been the 32nd ranked offense in the NFL for like 2 years in a row. So, like, he has been dealt the crappiest of crappy hands. Like, the coaching has been bad. Like, he has everything working against him. So I say from a talent standpoint, he can do things Jimmy Garoppolo would never even think to do.
Man, it's happening on draft day.
I can't see them doing that, because they can't say without a doubt that he's gonna play better. They can think that he will. I would think that he will, but they can't say it with 100%.
You put Sam Darnold in this system.
I think he play well. But again, it's like, I think he'll play well. They know Jimmy Garoppolo can play well enough to get them wins.
But we can't say that about any quarterback. You can't say that definitively about
Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be 90% healthy. Maybe this is why
even if Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy, we gotta stop ignoring what we saw this season from this guy. What we saw this season was a regression from what we saw the previous season, and that Jimmy Garoppolo isn't hard to surpass.
Well, are you talking about? Are we going off of just game one? Because after that, the injury, and then
game one wasn't pretty either, though.
No, that's what I'm saying. So are we? And that's fine. I don't care if we go off of game one. I didn't.
No, but we got to go off of Jimmy's. We got to go off of Jimmy's full body of work with the 49ers.
You can include even the postseason
and 2018 and 2017.
Well, 2018 he only played like 3 games.
I know, but you can count. I mean, that's part of his body of work. It wasn't pretty. Those 3 games weren't pretty.
And that's my point. That's my point. Like,
I'm not saying Jimmy is. I would listen. I cut Jimmy Garoppolo today. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if
don't do it, dog. You about to lose 20,000 followers,
like,
bro.
Listen,
Yo, I'm telling
no, listen. Okay, so all the
they on their way out. You better regress. Change that up. He's playing.
We're having this
conversation. Just joking.
We're having this conversation right now because of what we've seen, and people can be blinded by all this stuff. If you go back and you look at 2017, we were excited about what he could be, but I mean, he's talking about 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions in 5 games. Like, that's not earth shattering. Like, he did a good job of making some throws. But yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? But it led to win. So it's like, great. He came out in 2018 and it did not look good. The Vikings game, he came out through 3 picks, including the pick 6, for whatever reasons, maybe Bourne ran the wrong route or whatever. The Lions game wasn't very pretty, and he almost ruined the whole game. And then the 49ers were getting destroyed by Kansas City, and he got hurt. Like, it wasn't pretty. And then he started off the next year, 2019, throw pick 6 against Tampa Bay. The thing that saved them the most was 49ers had 2 pick 6s for touchdowns, and that ended up being the difference. Like, it wasn't the first 8 games weren't pretty, but we did see him start to get better, and maybe it was like, well, he's coming injury or whatever. I think ultimately Jimmy Garoppolo has shown us who he is, and it's a very inconsistent average quarterback. He can show you some good moments, and he'll show you some really ugly ones, but for the most part, he's right there in between where it's like, yeah, he's a starting quarterback, but I don't think he's good enough to where, I'm going to keep him and lose guys like Trent Williams and you know, Jason Verrett and Kawan Williams because I have to pay this guy $27 million, which isn't a lot, but even then, it's enough to where is he going to be able to win without these pieces around him? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
It's a lot because we have $17 million. And so when you're looking at 25 million plus that 17, now you can look to replenish some of those pieces. So it becomes a lot because we don't have money. And so everybody's saying, yo, we need to keep Jimmy and restock the offensive line. Well, what fucking money? Like, how we going to pay? Who are we paying? Who are we paying? I'm serious. Like, who are we paying? Because we don't have money for Trent.
Like I said earlier, you can do that if you do multi-year deals. That's how you get around the cap space. You got to do multi-year deals, though. And you got to have these guys willing to take those multi-year deals and want to be there. That's the thing. And Wayne, I totally agree with you. You know, like you seen that comment today where it's like, fix the O-line, you fix Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
But I feel like Jimmy Garoppolo kind of lost his moxie, right? He came out to be, you know, the first games that he was in here, he looked like he was playing with more confidence early on with this team compared to playing scared like he plays now. He doesn't. His footwork never is consistent the same how it usually looks. His dropbacks aren't the same. His arm levels aren't the same. If you take away the middle of the field, what do you get? You know what I mean? You get stare downs. And a lot of that has to do with, I think, really that Jimmy Garoppolo plays more scared than anything anymore.
So he's playing more safe.
I don't know if that's because of his knee injury and he doesn't want to get hurt because obviously you don't want to get hurt, or the ankle injury. One or the other, something's bothering him. He just, mindset-wise, I don't think he looks like anywhere near what he could be. I just think that level's not there.
Brian, come on, man. You got to say something, man.
He looked like this before the injury, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, again, you go back to the first 3 games of 2018, he wasn't injured, and it still looked like this.
But his pocket presence was a lot better then compared to what it has been. Now he kind of just goes down, doesn't get rid. He was getting rid of the football. He was getting rid of the football early on. He was moving around the pocket, getting outside the pocket. Now he kind of just stands there like a damn statue.
No, you see, you're picking and choosing. He still does move around.
Yeah, but not as much.
Well, because we have a larger sample size of him now. Right. So it doesn't look like as much.
He also wasn't moving around this last year as much because his O-line was jacked compared to what it was the year before.
I saw a play where Jimmy was moving plenty behind the line of scrimmage, and he ran right into a sack.
I saw a play where he was moving plenty, and there was nobody near him.
Yeah, he spun like that's the same play. He spun like 3 times from nobody.
I don't want to get on Jimmy. Like, I don't want to. I hate when I have to but it's like we got to speak the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so here's a legit question. Here is a legit question then. So say the team is done or we're done, however you want to shape it up. You're going to cut Jimmy, you're going to trade Jimmy, restructure Jimmy, whatever you want to do. Who do you bring in to fix this, and how do you do it?
You asking me?
Everybody.
I'm drafting a quarterback.
Okay, so you're going to waste your draft capital on a quarterback, and now you can't fix your O-line.
But you have money.
I don't have to draft O-line if I cut Jimmy, because I can just keep Trent Williams and I can sign a center and I can still draft offensive lineman in like the 2nd or 3rd or 4th round to play guard.
Well, if you trade up to, if you're going to trade out of 12 to get a quarterback, you're probably not going to have a 2nd round pick.
Depending on how high. Like if you go off of what Mel Kiper, what did Mel Kiper give up?
I didn't see it.
Okay, he traded up from 12 to 7 in a mock and drafted Justin Fields to the Niners. But
so he probably only gave up a 3rd and a 4th.
I want to say it was like, I think I heard like a 2nd and a 3rd next year, or a 2nd and 3rd next year. It was something like to that.
I'm looking it up now.
But I would be perfectly fine with giving up a 2nd this year and a 3rd next year, like to move up and get a quarterback. Now again, either way, you're going to be in trouble. You're saying Jimmy Garoppolo needs O-line, but then with his contract, it's kind of hard to retain guys. So, and his contract's not bad.
No,
but it just kind of is.
No. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's another thing we got to stop saying. His contract is bad for an average quarterback. Yes, it is.
Well, because
That's
you know
so
he's
much
average
money.
now. They didn't pay him for what he is. They paid him for what he thought he would be.
I understand that, and now
And-
he's not what we thought he was.
And
So
they
that
gave
contract
him-
now is bad.
No, but it's not because they can get out of it at any point. They're choosing not to.
Yes,
right.
But they
if you're not
can.
gonna-
They structured
yeah.
it to where last year they could have cut his ass with no cap hit really, and they just decided. For obvious reasons, they've decided to keep him. So it's not like that. It's just they were thinking about this down the line. Like, I think I like him, but we're not sure. So let's put on paper he makes a lot of money, but in a few years it won't look bad if we have to cut him.
I swear I wanted to have a show where we talked about the whole team, but then you realize how important this one position is and the salary cap implications in a year that the cap is down. And like that's why every team, every show seems to funnel right back to this topic, no matter how much we try. Croc is on here. I was hoping that we talked about corners. I swear to God, I was hoping that we talked about corners. But like we just keep coming right back to this topic. Go ahead, Brian. I saw you wanted to jump in. I'm sorry.
No, I got nothing. I mean, like I said, I've given you guys every cap scenario that I can come up with as far as what to do with him and how to change things. Like, I've made it clear that I'm not a Jimmy G fan. I am a fan of this team, and the only way that I can see them moving forward is to retain him and restructure his contract or extend him. But that's going to buy you another 2 years of Jimmy G, and then that's does everybody want that?
I think they keep him. I think they keep him on the same contract. Like I could see them not messing with it and still keep him because you don't want to handcuff yourself and to where you have to have him next year as well.
Sure, but if you do that, then you're stuck with 13 million that we're sitting at now, plus whatever potential we might get from increased cap, and then maybe the release of Richburg and some of the maybe like Benjamin if they decide to cut in Mark and Zacha, you could restructure or extend Tomlinson and maybe open up $2.5-3 million. I mean, it's just nitpicky throughout. The biggest way to make the largest sum, if we wanted to go out and sign free agents, we're going to need that cash, and that capital is going to would have to come from Jimmy getting restructured. That's the only way I could see it happening.
Or cut.
Right. Those are the only
sure,
they're not cutting him. I can't see them cutting him. I can't see.
Would you take a 6th rounder right now for Jimmy Garoppolo?
Me or them?
Everybody. Just give me a quick. Everybody, give me a yes or no.
I would, but only because I'm willing to go all in on the quarterback in the draft. I tweeted out today my reasoning. Like, I'm not paying average quarterbacks a bunch of money because and even though his contract's not a lot, but it's preventing them from potentially signing other guys that are key players. So if I have to lose key players, but you're average, then I'm not going to be able to overcome those losses. So why am I keeping you? That's just my perspective.
No,
I'm better off
right.
going with somebody with a higher upside, even though we don't know what this guy's going to be, but I can keep a better team around him.
Exactly,
you know what I'm saying?
bro.
So it's like so again, they're not going to let go of Jimmy, but I'm just saying, like, if they hypothetically were to just let him go, you can use that money to now create a much better roster, do whatever you have to do to bring in a rookie where you can structure, you can create a game plan around his skill set that we've seen can win. Even if it's a guy like Fields who he can make every throw. Maybe there's some things that he's not great at right now, but we saw Kyle what he did with RG3. He was rookie of the year and they went to the playoffs. So it's not out of the question that somebody can come in and play well. And now again, you build a better team around this guy while he's on a rookie contract. So to me, it makes sense, but they're not going to do it. They're going to keep Jimmy.
Right.
And I understand it. I understand that. But
I wouldn't be mad if they kept him and then had a rookie. You know what I'm saying? Like, and let the person learn the playbook. And like, I know what
that's
you said
another
earlier.
thing too. But what does it do to the rest of your roster? And they might do that. They might do that.
You keeping him at $25.5 million.
27, but yeah, I get.
Yeah, I don't see how they can do that. Like, it's either you buy in on Jimmy or you get rid of him.
Well, no, it doesn't matter because look, if you have Jimmy Garoppolo on this roster, no matter who you draft in the first round pick, It's the same cost, whether it's a quarterback or not. It don't make a difference. I learned this the hard way just 2 shows ago. Like I remember the conversation. It don't matter what position they take. That's going to be the cost, right? So,
well, it's just by the number of where you're drafted.
Right.
No,
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what position you play. You're getting that much money. So, 27 plus 4 is going to be 31, no matter how you look at it. I'd rather pay 31 believing that the quarterback of the future is on this roster than not. That's my point.
But that's also the thing with college quarterbacks. You never know what they're gonna do. Look at Mac Jones. Everybody's so high on Mac Jones. He's played 1 friggin' year in college.
Same thing happened with Trubisky, and he went second. Like you just say that with anybody in the draft. I mean, that's
you
not
trade up and you get a guy. Look, I'm a huge Ohio State fan, and I'm not completely sold on Justin Fields, and only for the fact that Ohio State never produces good quarterbacks for the NFL.
I hear that, but this is my thing. Kyle Shanahan, you get paid a lot of money
to develop.
Like, get this guy with all this talent that you're missing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get this guy. I just heard Chris Sims talk about how, well, you saw Josh Allen and what it looked like, and yeah, there was some, it took some time with Josh Allen.
Oh, absolutely.
But you see how dangerous he makes them. So it's like, okay, you got Fields, and maybe he doesn't do this right, but it's like, Kyle, you're supposed to be an offensive genius. You get paid hell of money. You're one of the highest paid coaches in the league. Make it work. He's more talented than anybody you've had since RG3, who was very talented, but started getting hurt. And he was kind of weird too. But this is one of the most talented quarterbacks you'll ever have. Make it work. Okay,
yeah,
he can't do right now. He doesn't make great anticipation throws. Okay, so figure it out and get him to make anticipation throws. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to be the offensive genius. Like, it's not like he's going to, if you get Justin Fields, he's going to a team with Jim Tomsula as the head coach. And you know what I'm saying? He's like clueless. He's like, no, like Kyle Shanahan, you're supposed to be, be able to get the money. And you got sorry ass Nick Mullins playing well at times. Like, you could do a lot more with Justin Fields. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So and like I said, Fields has all the talent in the world. I mean, the kid has a lot of talent. And going back to Josh Allen, shit, you remember they in Carolina, they wanted him going. Like, and then he just started to progress to what he is now, and he's still
Josh Allen was sorry coming out. Like, he sorry. Like
sorry.
When you watch, I mean, he wasn't, it was all traits. So it's like,
yes, that's it.
So you're saying, like, McDermott or whoever their head coach is, like, he can get this quarterback to develop and play well. And even then, even when he wasn't playing very, very well, they still had a good team around him. So what they do, they still went to the playoffs. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And should have won one, but whatever. But I'm just saying, like, so Kyle, why can't you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
because they shook. Hey, why the fuck haven't we drafted quarterbacks every year? Why is CJ Beathard the only quarterback we've ever drafted?
They messed up with CJ Beathard.
So they just got scared?
No, that's not why. They didn't mess up with CJ Beathard because there was no real confidence. Like, it wasn't like, oh, we're drafting CJ Beathard. Like, I think he's gonna be the guy. Like, it was just like, all right,
why'd you draft him in the 3rd round? You could have drafted
him. Why'd you trade up to draft him in the 3rd round?
Yeah, well, like Lynch traded up because Lynch was a rookie GM. And Kyle was like, no, like, this dude, you don't even want to take him day 2. Like, you know what I'm saying? But all draft picks, people don't understand. It's like, why you draft, what's his name? Kentavious Street or whatever. Why you draft him in the 4th round coming off an ACL? Like, it's not like I expect big things out of him, but maybe. You know what I'm saying? So when you draft CJ Beathard, you don't, and you're drafting him late 3rd, right before the 4th round. You're not drafting him with the same expectations as you would draft somebody, if you're drafting somebody in the top 10. They drafted him just because it's like, all right, like, he does some things well. I like that he does this. Let's see. Maybe he can turn into a Kirk Cousins. Maybe not. But if he's not, there's no sweat because he was a late 3rd, almost a 4th round draft pick. So that wasn't something where their whole plan, and we all know this already, I'm pretty sure y'all have talked about it, it was just to get Kirk Cousins. So anything else that they did at that point at the quarterback position is almost like we have to put an asterisk next to it because the only thought process they had was getting Kirk Cousins. And then obviously they ended up landing Jimmy, but that wasn't part of Kyle's master plan. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't part of his plan. And that's why they structured the contract the way they did. They could get out of it at any point.
I just don't understand not taking a 6th, 7th rounder on
because why? I mean, like
because Nick Mullins was your 3rd string. Because you saw CJ Beathard in his first year and he didn't look good. CJ Beathard was here from day one.
I almost feel like if you're going a quarterback 6th round, 7th round, like it ain't
undrafted.
Bro, don't
it's not
the quarterback like every other year.
Who?
And that's with Aaron Rodgers there. Like other teams do this. They draft quarterbacks, they develop them, and then they just, if they don't work, cool. If they do, then they trade them or whatever. Like I just think it's irresponsible knowing how inconsistent the play is at that position has been here their entire tenure to have only addressed it one time in the draft, just once. Like we took a flyer on Adrian Colbert, and I get that. That was the same year that we got Beathard, right? I get that. Like they just looked at just the measurables, just the combine results or whatever it was. He jumped off the page. Let's get him here and to see what he could do, right? But we've done that every single season at every other position except running back and quarterback. And the reason running backs is because they know they have what's his name? What's my man's name with the gray beard? Damn. Come on, y'all. The running back coach. What's his name?
Bobby Turner.
Bobby goddamn Turner. That's right. Like they know they have Bobby Turner, right? So the first undrafted free agent running backs they go after are the ones who tested out the highest. Hey, Breida, come here. Let me see what we can get out of you. Like they do stuff like that all the time, but they would not do it for quarterbacks. I don't get it.
But because they've attacked that in the undrafted spot too. They've brought in a lot of undrafted quarterbacks.
Yeah, quarterback's one of those positions where, like, typically, if you're not taking the guy in the first round, you're kind of just
to gamble anywhere.
They don't. I mean, it's like a 50% hit rate in the first round. Outside of that, it's like probably like a 5% hit rate. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, drafting a guy in the 6th round, you're damn near just throwing away a pick of another player that can potentially be more productive. Like even like an Adrian Colbert. Like started some games, played some special teams, maybe did good there. You got a good year and a half out of him or whatever you got. Like, even a guy like Richie James, who was like a 5th round, 6th round pick or whatever he was, he was somebody who he still was your return man. Like maybe it's not great, but he's still playing. He's still active. You got 180-yard game out of him this past season against Green Bay. Like, but a 6th round quarterback, unless it's Tom Brady, like the things don't. They typically it's pointless almost. I would say. I hear what you're saying though.
4th. Russell Wilson was a 3rd. Brady, like you said, was a 6th. Like,
but you're talking about over the span of 20 years,
right?
You over the span of 20 years, you can name 5 guys. So it's like, well, 49ers where they're at right now. It's like, well, we have a guy who is our starting quarterback who we pay a lot of money to, and then we have 2 other guys who they took those flyers on, who they feel like, hey, they can step in and play. Like, and I think that was just their mindset.
I think there's a problem with how they evaluate quarterbacks. I'll be honest with you, because even Beathard and Mullins weren't the most talented quarterbacks on the rosters on the years that they stuck. They weren't. Right. They weren't, man. Like, all right, Beathard, I get, because he was raw as hell, right? Like, at least that's how I felt. I felt like he had the big arm, the athleticism. I get keeping him and hoping that you could change something with him. But why the hell? What did Mullins do to make this roster?
He worked hard. Seriously. I mean, look at what's his name? Daniel, or what's his name? Chase Daniel. Like, he's made $38 million and he's only thrown for 1,600 yards in his entire career. A lot of it is just because, like, he probably works hard and he's a really good guy. So he's like perfect backup quarterback. And typically you don't want your backup quarterback to have to play. If Nick Mullins never played, we would still look at him like, hey, he's a decent backup. We have one of the better backups in the league. And then he had to actually play like a lot. It looked shitty. You know what I'm saying?
Good points. Shut up. he made us. If we never saw Nick Mullins play, I'm like, what? Oh, okay, yeah, I get what you said.
Right? We thought. Didn't we think we had a good backup? We're good. We got Nick Mullins. We got a good backup.
Yo, because he had to play. His first game was that Raiders game, right? Imagine if that Raiders game was his only game, right, Breezy? Go ahead. I'm sorry, Breezy.
I'm saying he'll get you a good first 2-3 games. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, Nick Mullins down because he ain't built to be a starter. Hey, so what if Jimmy G's not really built to be a starter? I mean, I know we've seen what he can do, but Crocker said he didn't look good at the beginning of 2019, which he did until we acquired Emmanuel Sanders. Jimmy G was struggling. Like, I don't know if we remember that 49ers faithful. Like, he was struggling. We acquired Emmanuel, then he started having these big games, throwing balls to him.
I want to give him the benefit of the doubt because he was coming off the ACL. So I and we remember what he looked like in preseason. Like, he was scared to land on his leg. He was scared for anybody to hit him. It was just like, and I'm just like, man, maybe mentally he wasn't, fully confident with his leg and like putting weight on it and stuff like that. So that could have led to some of his inconsistencies the first half of 2018. Now, that has nothing to do, though, with his performance against the Vikings, which wasn't really good based on throws, but it was kind of crappy a little bit. And he actually got bailed out by my boy, Kendrick Bourne. But Bourne bailed him out a few times, but he wasn't great in that game. And then, obviously, the Packers game, he threw 8 passes. So there's a lot of people that, well, he led the 49ers to the Super Bowl, and it's like, what, did he? You know what I'm saying? Because, I think the defense kind of carried that in the run game. Yeah, so that's kind of, I think Jimmy, he is what he is, man. And I think we kind of hold on to the thoughts of what he could be.
I got to get ready to go, guys, but let me ask everybody this question. And I know we've probably never seen it done, but if the 49ers drafted a rookie quarterback, their guy, whether it's Wilson, whether it's whoever, their guy, they draft their guy. Can they make it to the Super Bowl this season if they draft that quarterback?
Super Bowl is hard. You can't. I have a hard time being like, can they make it to the Super Bowl? Can they win the NFC West? Like, to me, that's the starting point.
I didn't say win the Super Bowl. I said, can they make it?
Wait, let me ask this question. If they get their guy, is Jimmy gone?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think that he has to be, because if you're going to get your guy, you probably got to trade up, which means you're going to lose some draft picks. Now you got to get rid of Jimmy in order to open up cap space.
Right.
It's like you got to balance it out.
So
right.
I think if they get their guy, that means they cleared cap space. That means they went hard in free agency. I will say yes. Didn't Ben Roethlisberger go to the Super Bowl his rookie season?
Or second, one of those rookie or second. But this is my thing. Do you cut Jimmy to make those free agent moves before knowing if you can get your guy in the draft?
Well, if you do that, then you sell out to get your guy.
You have no choice.
And I don't think they like the thoughts of being desperate.
Right.
So I can't see them do that.
Okay.
But what if their guy isn't one of those top 3 quarterbacks? Like you said, so who are the top 3 quarterbacks right now? You got Lawrence, and then
Wilson,
what? Wilson
and Fields.
And Fields, in my opinion.
Is Fields the definitive third guy?
Yeah.
I still like him like second, but that's just me.
Yeah, I'd probably go
3.
Lawrence, Fields.
I like
Wilson.
Trey Lance, but nobody likes Trey Lance. But
I like Trey Lance.
Talented.
I think Trey Lance is solid. I think he has a good skill set.
There's been some media out there that have moved Trey Lance over Wilson. And we've seen Wilson fall in some mock drafts that's been going on the last couple of weeks.
So let's just say Lance is their guy.
Fields, not Wilson. Sorry.
Let's just say Lance is their guy, or let's say they have 2 guys.
Let's say you get Trey Lance at 12.
Right.
You don't have to trade up stock.
Right. And that's my point.
But you don't know that at the time of when you would have to release Jimmy.
Right.
I know these are all hypotheticals. My point is, if the 49ers can get a guy that they feel like is their guy for a quarterback, can they take that quarterback, replenish this offensive line and defense somehow? Can they make it to the Super Bowl?
Yep, Sam Darnold, Super Bowl champion, 2022.
I always like to look at like the floor, like can they make a wild card? Because once you get into the dance, then anything can happen.
Right, anything, yeah.
So in my opinion, like
so
can they make
it to the playoffs? How about that?
With a rookie quarterback, with a good team around them? Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, that's a better question. I see what you're saying. That's a much better, solid question. But it's like when I put stuff out there, everybody's just like, "Oh, they're not going to make it to the Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback."
That's not
you
true.
Know that.
You never know. Like
that's not a rule.
But
it's like you don't or you can't until you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, so y'all know me. I'll never say what somebody can or can't do. I'll say, yeah, I believe that with a rookie quarterback, they can make it to the playoffs. And if you get into the playoffs, then anything can happen from there. You know what I'm saying?
That's I agree with that.
Especially now with the 7th seed. There's seven teams that make it now. So I think now you even have a much higher opportunity if the team around, like if you have a good football team, which 49ers have been able to play. If they just had slightly better play from Nick Mullins, they would have made a wild card.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like if the Niners got healthy at the end of the season, and we saw the playoff teams that made it this year. Y'all don't think that we making like the divisional round at least?
Hell yeah, man. Like
it
was
that,
easy. Just with Kittle coming back gave the Niners a different swag. You know, just that one player alone. So imagine if 49ers got to find a way to get a center that can come out there and call out them pre-snaps.
I think that's what I was going to say. I think a lot of the bad quarterback play had a lot to do with the offensive line's fault as well, not knowing coverages and what to call out and things like that, because the miscommunication along the offensive line was horrible this year.
No, I think the quarterback play was bad just because the quarterbacks played bad.
Oh, I'm not saying that it wasn't bad. I'm saying I think the offensive line helped make it.
The offensive line was bad too.
Wait. Because if the offensive line was bad, quarterback play was bad, right? But the offensive line, are you talking about the communication amongst the offensive line, Nick?
Yeah, like
that stops pre-snap.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. The center, that's where they were. I read an article too about it. Why? I don't even know how long ago, saying how much did the 49ers lose without Weston Richburg, not just in play. Weston Richburg's a very, not even just Weston Richburg, but you could go to Ben Garland too, where they know the pre-snap calls and all that other stuff, and they weren't filled in this year. Those guys weren't there, and we were filling in with more inexperienced guys at that position and knowing pre-snaps, where to line guys up, and the communication. And then that's why it took me back to when Trent Williams was making those comments about I did my job and things on the offensive line basically fell apart because the communication wasn't right. We need to get better at that communication. Now, I'm not saying quarterback play wasn't bad, because the quarterback play was bad also. I mean, there were a lot of times where games we should have won and we throw an interception, or, you can look at Kyle Shanahan as well with play calling or, time of possession control and all this other stuff that we talked about before on the show. There were a lot of reasons we lost games, but I don't want to take out the offensive line as in helping make the quarterback play worse than what it really was.
I think sometimes you need the quarterback to make your offensive line look better. You know what I'm saying? Or you need like against the Cowboys with Mullins taking a strip sack, and it's like, dude, all you gotta do is like take a half a step up and then make a throw. Instead, he dropped back and he stayed there, and you got McGlinchey making the defensive end ride the hump, and the quarterback just stands there at the top of the drop and doesn't take a step up. So just little things like that, just having a little bit better feel in the pocket, like that can make the offensive line look a little bit better. Like offensive lines, people expect just quarterbacks to just have hell of time. Like they don't. Like no matter who your offensive line, like
you get 3 seconds,
unless it was the Cowboys 2017 offensive line, you know what I'm saying? Like outside of that, it's not like quarterbacks, you have to make a play too. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not just always going to be like, oh, just we're just stonewalling guys every single play. So from that standpoint, like you're going to need your quarterback to make some plays. And that's what the 49ers kind of lack, even with Garoppolo. Unless you could just run the ball all game.
Well, we've seen them do that too, but that's not sustainable. You can do that for a game here or there, but you're not back to back in it like that. You know what I mean? Like you're not getting that off. We saw defenses change, take away the short shit and say, all right, we dare you to beat us downfield. And the Niners just couldn't do that. Didn't matter who the quarterback was. Wayne, I heard you say earlier you had to go. You have any final thoughts before you jump off?
And man,
and then
great.
guys, we'll wrap up soon after that.
It was good. It was a pleasure. All you guys, man. Crocker, good to see you. Good to talk to you again, fellas. I'll see y'all on the next show. Fans, stay faithful. We don't know what the hell's going on out there, man. That's all. That's why we having these conversations. I actually like the barbershop talk, to keep it a buck, yo, because we just getting stuff off our chests, and it's good to hear us brothers kind of like really dig down. You know, Croc's a superstar, but you know, sometimes when we have other, the realness. Like the first thing Croc said is we gotta keep it 100. Now he could be a guest on my show, your show. Like I just want to keep it 100. Like that's what. Don't give me that. Oh well, we lost the Super Bowl because because of the defense. No, there's a bunch of reasons why we lost the Super Bowl, and Jimmy's one of them. So just keep it 100. Like I love it, Croc. I love you guys. I'm out, man. I got work to do in the morning.
All right, man. Peace. Be safe out there.
Peace.
Take care of those kids, man. That's Teacher Breezy.
These kids, man.
Teacher Breezy over there. Now, look, man, guys. I swear I don't want this to be just about the quarterback position. So I want to ask this question to everybody out here, right? We are a little strapped for cash, but we still have. I don't know where I keep getting this number from. Where am I getting $20 million from?
I don't know.
Do we not have?
Maybe after letting go of Richburg.
Yeah, right now there's like 13 and change.
But 13 and some change is enough to do something with. And that's at 180 or 185, B.
That's at the 180, 500,000.
Okay. All right. So that's still enough to make a move, a big move. That's enough to make one big move, maybe two or three like moves, like, you know, like 2 weeks after free. So what give me one guy. Give me your one guy that if you could have the Niners get him, forget the price tag, give me your one guy that you say, like, we get him, like, all right, we got a chance at being one of those 7 teams.
Ngakoue.
I swear to God, I said that already.
You did on another show.
Y'all laugh me out. Laugh at Croc, damn it. Y'all laughed me out the room when I said that. Laugh at Croc.
Well, you just said price wasn't anything that was going to impede us from making these decisions. For this answer, that seems like okay, that's feasible. When we were talking about it before, we were talking about real life scenarios, I thought. So Ngakoue is not something that we can afford.
So I got beat out of my own technicality. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, basically.
Ain't that a bitch? I saw Nick's knees. Take a drink. That's one of the bingo things.
What?
I like the Ngakoue, you know, obviously like his plays kind of been up and down. There's Leonard Floyd too. He's another one. You know what I'm saying? But just, you know, when you look at it's like you have your guy, right, with Nick Bosa, and then you have some, you know, good interior players, well, you know, Ken Law developing and Armstead. So if you can just get another guy, then now you have a really good pass rush again, and then just front 7 as well, because I mean you got, you know, Warner and Greenlaw behind, so that continues to be the strength of your team. And we've seen what even like Aaron Donald did to Leonard Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Like what he did for his career, where, you know, now it's like, damn, he looks really good. Well, yeah, when you playing with good people on the line, you start to look good as well. So that would be something that I would, you know, I'd probably be, you know, interested in.
Okay. All right, Nick or B, which guy you guys have?
I'll just keep harping on Dunbar. I like him. I think, you know, not only bringing him in is good for our secondary, but it takes something away from Seattle, and I like that.
Nickelodeon.
Oh, man. One free agent. Doesn't have to be defensively. It could be offensively too.
Yeah, no, any free agent that's out there, right now we're ignoring price tag. We're completely ignoring price tag. And nobody has been franchised yet. That's what I wanted to add. Okay, shit, I'm going to go all over the place. Why didn't they franchise Dak yet?
Say it again.
Why didn't they franchise Dak Prescott? Aren't we in the period where you can start tagging people now?
Just the transitional tag, right?
No, I think you could tag and then apply what type of tag. I thought you could tag people now.
Yeah, you can.
You can.
So then
But I think it opens up like a certain way. So I think you have a certain time. You have until March 14th. So there's plenty of time to do that. I think it's March 14th.
I thought it was March 8th, but yeah, something like that.
Yeah. March 8th, March 14th, whatever it is, 12th. So you have time there. So a lot of these guys are probably still trying to work out. You could it just opens up to where you can talk to those players.
Right. So worst case scenario is your ass ain't going nowhere. Here's the tag, told you. Or we can still continue to try to work something out. All right, you being stubborn, here's the tag, got you. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
All
right. Oh man.
And it's tough because there's some decent ones out there too. You know what I'm saying? Like Dak is going to be at the top of every board because he's technically out there. But there's some good corners. There's some good wide receivers.
I think William Jackson. I think he's a free agent, right?
Is he?
And then Jackson's a free agent.
Like I be liking people that's not even a free agent. Like I've been on the Orlando Brown news. Y'all heard the news today? Like they doubled up on it. Orlando Brown. I would let Trent Williams go and bring in Orlando Brown. I know y'all think I'm crazy when I say that shit, but I'm telling you I would do that. I'm not giving Trent Williams $20 million, bro. I'm sorry, Nick. Who's your free agent? Let me shut up.
I'm gonna go with Von Miller.
Who? Forgot about him.
Like that.
Yeah, I'd probably go with Von Miller. I mean, he would just boost this defense that much more.
That's self-explanatory.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even really have to explain as to why. But yeah, I mean, that would be definitely a guy that I would go after if we could afford it, obviously.
Mm-hmm. I like that, man. I like that. Okay. All right. Now, we're going to play the same thing. This is a fantasy trade. You cannot say Deshaun Watson. All right? You can't say Deshaun Watson. Who is somebody that you would trade for to improve this team?
If I had I could do anything I want.
Yes. But here's my
Justin
caveat.
Herbert. I'm going to bring Justin Herbert here.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right. You going the youngest of the young, but with the most promising look. I like it. I'm not
I'm
mad
a
at
Ducks
it at
fan,
all.
so I can't go wrong, man.
I hear you, man. Okay. All right, B. Thinking outside the box on that. Look at he told y'all he wasn't no Jimmy fan. He said Herbert, bro. You heard him? I got your back, B.
But if they want a backup quarterback, Mariota might be out there too.
I think they said that they were really disappointed with the trade market for him. You might be able to get him for like a 4th or a 5th next year. Like they basically giving him away now.
How excited were you to watch Herbert versus Mariota in that Raiders Chargers game? They were going at it, man. That was good stuff from both guys.
Game. I like that. I figured it would come out the other way, but it didn't. So
you know what game that reminded me of when I was watching that? It was week 17. It was Lions versus Packers.
Vikings? Oh no.
Oh, Vikings. Wait, was it the Vikings? I know it was a divisional game, and it was the backups. What was damn.
Nah, because Stafford was playing in the game and Lions versus Vikings.
No, so who was the backup? It was a backup because I played them in fantasy, and they were going ape shit, bro. Oh my god! Hold on, I gotta look this up.
So we're talking a top trade of anybody in the NFL.
Yep.
He said it was no holds barred, Nick.
Man, that's a hard one. I'm gonna stay on the defensive side of the ball, though.
Really?
Yeah.
No offensive lineman. No,
you said this.
I mean, I'm not. I don't think we should include quarterbacks. Well, never mind. Brian already did one, so never mind.
Man, this is hard. I have 2 guys. I just don't know which one is more important right now.
For me, it had to be a quarterback.
A quarterback?
A quarterback, yeah.
If I'm not going to take Herbert, then I'd go with the best defensive end you can find.
I'll go with Josh Allen.
Where you could put.
He's talking about the defensive end from the Jaguars.
Yeah, I'm thinking
I'm kidding.
Chase Young. you want to do that, and I'll go away from the quarterback. Chase Young, go get that. Sit opposite of Bosa.
All right. I was gonna go corner in Ramsey, but I'm gonna go with Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yo, y'all are wild. All right, never mind. I don't want
You said a fantasy.
I know, but I didn't think y'all was gonna do something like that. Like I thought we were gonna like. I know I said fantasy, but like I thought we were gonna like y'all like. I like it. I like what y'all doing, but I don't have a splashy. I was gonna say I was gonna double up on my Orlando Brown, but that seemed like compared to what y'all were saying. So like I didn't want to play no more.
Bro, if you could give
me my ball back, I'm going home.
If you could get Aaron Donald, Aaron Donald, Chase Young, Josh Allen, like those are three names that you should definitely go after, right?
Yeah, no, y'all right. I fucked up on that. That's on me. That's cool. Yeah. That's cool. That's my fault. All right, so Eric, I heard you say earlier that you would only bring back Verrett. Does that mean that you don't like Sharp? That means that you don't have faith in Mosley? You think Spoon trash too? Like what?
No, did I say that? No, I think I said.
You said Verrett. I'm paraphrasing, but you said Verrett's like the only one worth offering that kind of money to.
Yeah, but I thought you.
I'm talking about the
you
free
asked him
agency.
a question between Verrett and somebody else.
No, he was asking me about who would I sign, what free agent corner, and I said I would go to draft, but if I were to go with the free agent corner, I would just keep Verrett. Like I wasn't saying. I was basically saying I'd rather keep Verrett than sign some big free agent cornerback.
What was all right? I'm sorry. I want you to answer the question some more. But what was the backup? What was Green Bay's backup's name that went to Seattle and made mad money?
Green Bay's backup.
I think it was the year that they had got Russell Wilson.
Brandon Browner? He came from the CFL.
It was a backup dude, not Cobb.
Was it Mallet?
You talking about DB?
No, the quarterback. It was a quarterback.
Flynn.
Flynn. That's the game I'm talking about. That was the Week 17 matchup. He went out and went crazy. I'm gonna find it. Okay, I'm still looking for it.
He did. He threw like 6 touchdowns or something like that.
He went nuts in that game, man. That was a crazy ass game.
That game got him paid by the Seahawks, but then they drafted Russell Wilson, and he outplayed him in the preseason.
Yeah, he did. It was Detroit versus Green Bay. Matt Stafford. That's what they were right. So it was Matt Stafford, but I knew there was a backup. All right, there we go. I'm happy now. I found it. So, all right, back to the question at hand. What you don't like any of the corners free agent that are on the team? Now the Niners still have the rights to Mosley, so it's basically like the right of first refusal, right? Like you're our guy until we say you're not right. The other. So, what would you do with that current secondary situation? And then I want to see what the other guys think too. I mean, we've all kind of talked about it. I guess Nick can jump in. I know Brian, we've discussed this ad nauseum, but I want to hear from the other two guys here. Like, is there anybody that you guys think is worth bringing back? And let's include age, include injury history and all that stuff with these guys, include performance, because I know there's some guys that, people are afraid to change. I want to bring them back, but come on, like he's 33.
I'm drafting corners. So, I mean, obviously, I'd bring back Verrett for the right price. But if it got outrageous, I'd be just real comfortable with drafting guys. And I wouldn't mind. I mean, this would be crazy. And obviously, they would never do this. But if on draft day, the 49ers drafted a corner in the first round, second round, third round, then to me, it's so be it. Like, you need to bulk up that position and get younger. Like, they have not addressed it to that standpoint. They've done patchwork, with that position. So, obviously that's crazy. Like, I'm saying, to draft corners in the first 3 rounds, but I think it would make the 49ers a lot better in the position of need. I mean, they literally have Tim Harris under contract. Like, that's like their only corner under contract.
Is he a corner?
And then obviously, like,
he's a corner.
Why are you thinking that Harris is a safety?
He's a corner, but like that's it, and it's just him. He ain't never played on it.
Oh, he said Tim Harris. Okay,
Yeah, Tim Harris.
Okay, I'm sure.
Yeah, so that looking at it from that standpoint is like, man, it's like you've been doing patchwork, and obviously like you could draft 3 guys and maybe only one of them will hit, maybe the other one to be, serviceable, and maybe another guy would just suck. But give yourself some opportunities instead of going out and pouring a whole bunch of big time money into free agency. Because at the end of the day, how I look at it, any free agent that you get, you're overpaying. You're overpaying for them, and somebody did not want them. Is what I'm saying? So,
or like, in this season, somebody could not afford them is a very strong possibility. Like let's keep the buck.
But like if somebody else can afford them, then the 49ers can't either.
Damn. All right, I'm gonna shut up. You guys stop making good points.
Yo, the Niners are like 14th or 15th in the league right now with cap money. They're not as bad as we think they are.
No,
well, they are.
If you
as
take
bad
the
when you
number
have Trent
money
Williams.
wise,
they're bad when you have Trent Williams.
What's that, Croc?
I said they're bad when you have Trent Williams that you have to sign. Like the Cowboys. Cowboys are like right above 49ers with how much cap space they have. And it's like, say it's $17 million. And it's like, okay, got $17 million, not that bad. But they're trying to pay Dak Prescott. So, you know what I'm saying? So like you said, you're not that bad until you have to sign Dak Prescott. And then you have to figure out.
Well, the Niners, you can look at that as, Williams, Kyle Juszczyk also.
That's what he said. He said Trent Williams, so it makes it worse.
No, I'm saying Trent Williams, and you can add Kyle Juszczyk in there also. Like, that's probably another big contract.
But, I mean, Kyle
Juszczyk would be calm.
Yeah, I look at Kyle Juszczyk as like, there's more than one way to run
Don't
this.
leave me on this ledge by myself. You can say it. It's
No,
okay.
I'm saying like, because he does a lot, but you would have to change your offense without him, or you can try to replace him with somebody. But I mean, we watched the Rams run a variation of this same offense out of 11 personnel. You know what I'm saying? So and they run the ball very well. I saw somebody tweet out that their run efficiency has been better than the 49ers 3 out of the last 4 years. So like they run the ball very well. Obviously they throw the ball well, and that's out of it's a very similar offense, probably like similar principles, but they do it out of 11 personnel instead of having the fullback. So,
What, Croc, why I got you on here, I haven't talked to you in a while. So what's your thoughts on, look, K'Waun Williams walks in free agency, right? He's probably going to get some money somewhere. He is one of the better slot corners in the league. What were your thoughts on Jamar Taylor? He's 31 years old. He's kind of,
he's coming off that big injury now, right?
I think.
No,
didn't he finish the season or
nah?
Oh, he got
like towards ACL or something.
He had an ACL injury. That's right.
Yeah. So,
are you asking about how he looked or what he thinks about him going forward?
I think he's saying instead of having Williams,
right?
Would I just rather go with a lower price person like Taylor?
I
think ideally, if you were saying that there were no injury, yes. Right. In my opinion, I mean, before I kind of saw what happened late last year, I would have went with somebody like Verrett who can play. I mean, Mosley who can play in the nickel. You know what I'm saying? Mosley has shown he has played games. He has more so preseason, but he's had meaningful snaps, a bunch of snaps in the nickel, and even as a rookie, he started outside in the preseason and then slid inside to the nickel in sub situations. So he has been somebody who they look at that could play that. Now, saying that at the end of the year, they played Dante Johnson in the nickel over Mosley. Matter of fact, they didn't play Mosley at all. They had him on special teams. They started Witherspoon and they started Verrett, and in the nickel they played Dante Johnson. I don't know why. I don't know what's up with that. And it kind of went a little unnoticed. I thought maybe he just wasn't playing because I remember he was coming off an injury, but then he was running down on punt team. So it's like if you're healthy enough to play special teams, then you're not playing in the game. Maybe they're not as high on him anymore. I don't know. I don't know that for sure, but I definitely thought that was kind of weird.
I think if they were high on him, we would have already heard something because he's a restricted free agent.
They're gonna bring him back. I mean, whenever they have, they'll bring him back. I don't have any issues, thoughts about that part. It's just the fact that he was healthy enough. He's playing special teams, but Witherspoon and Dante Johnson played over him. So I wanted I want to say that I like him in the slot, and he could be a guy that could fill in. I thought he played well there, but I don't know how they feel because they played Dante Johnson over him there.
Yeah, he only played 48.1% of the snaps. Mosley.
Yeah.
What were we gonna say?
Mike's up there whispering sweet nothings to you
about Dante Johnson. Hey, I will say with Dante Johnson, like for what he is, you know what I'm saying, the sixth corner on the roster or whatever, I thought he played well considering.
He had some good reps, and then he had some bad calls against them too, just because. Well, never mind. But yeah.
Yeah, he did have one that they called PI on him, and I was like, that's bullshit.
Yeah, but
he played better than Brian Allen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh my God, that was let me tell you, that was one of the worst days of my life. And you know why it was bad for me? Because I've been a long-time Spoon supporter. Why didn't your boy get out there earlier? Your boy was a punk. He didn't want to go out there and play and all that shit. Man, that pissed me off so much, man. And like, it's not my, like, I don't know him personally. Like, what do you guys want me to do? Yeah, like I texted him and was like, hey, don't go play. Let Brian Allen go. No, I've been wanting Spoon to get out there the whole time. So, it is what it is. All right, man.
Yo, Mike's starting to look more and more like Sherm.
I'm sorry, what?
He basically said all black people look alike.
No, just like how hold on. How he just did that. Hold on, listen. How you just did that with your mouth and your eyes, like your eyes to the side, like, come on, like you look just like Sherm with one of his reactions, bro.
Brian, you giggling too hard down there, bro. Hey, I'm switching this up. I don't like the whites on one side and the blacks on the other. We're gonna mix it up over here. We're gonna keep this. There you go. We're gonna keep this nice and even, man. I don't have much more else, man. I don't want to keep you guys too long. I figured out remember I said there was something about the front office I wanted to talk on. Yeah. I remembered it, but it was when Breezy was leaving. I've been trying to catch it again, and it's just gone. It's leaving my mind right now. I cannot figure out what the hell it was.
About our front office?
Yeah, it was something specifically about our front office, and I can't. Let me see. Oh, I did have a question about one thing here. Do you guys think that a deal with Trent Williams is possibly done, but it's a percentage-based deal, and that's why they can't announce it until they know for sure what the cap is going to be? Or for any other free agent that the Niners are looking to retain the services of? Because
no, I feel like somebody
in the NFL that a contract is based off of the percentages. So as the cap grows, their salary grows. But do you think it's possible they did something like that? And that's why, because here's where this question came from. You don't, in my opinion, you don't trade a third and a fifth for a guy in his 30s unless you have a plan to keep him, especially once you restructure him and lose your ability to tag him and continue to work on a negotiation. All those moves said to me, they plan on bringing this guy back. So then if you planned on bringing him back, you knew about Jimmy Garoppolo's cap figure already. You knew about Dee Ford's cap figure already. You knew about this whole situation right now. The only thing you didn't know was that the cap was going to go down a little bit. That's fair. I understand that. But we're still here, right? There's no new information other than the cap number being unsettled. Is it possible they worked out a deal with Trent Williams already, but it's a percentage-based cap hit?
I feel like somebody will report that, like Barrows or Mayoko. I feel like they'd be like kind of on that. You don't think so?
Breaking news right here on the Nothing But Niners show. Maybe, just maybe, Trent Williams' deal is worth 11% of the 49ers cap space.
Can you even talk to your own players right now?
What? Yeah, hell yeah. You can negotiate with your own guys. You only see all the reports. Orlando Brown Jr. just told
they're all under contract until the new year starts.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. March, whatever it is.
You got a cut. You got a cut between your fingers, Nick.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything appropriate to say, so I shut up. I did good. I censored myself right there.
Leave his gash alone.
Yeah. That's the gash.
So, Nobody thinks that's a possibility. Like there's a deal, they just don't know the numbers, so they can't announce it yet.
I don't think so because if while I think it is his intent to come back to the 49ers, I still think that he wants to find out what his true value is from the league before he makes that decision.
That's respectable.
There may be a backdoor deal happen, like you say, and there may be like an 11% offer out there, but I don't think I think he's going to go to free agency first.
What percentage does the top left tackle make right now? Anybody have if you look up, what is it? Spot Rack does it, right? Let me see if I can pull it up. I think Spot Rack has that breakdown like right away. Like if you just go to left tackles, and then if you go to the far right, it'll tell you it'll tell you the percentage. But my point is, damn, Brian, you said that he could have something like that, but he wants to still see what the market is. Well, what's the point of seeing the market if you don't think that the Niners can match it or not?
Because if say that he wants so with what you're saying, 11%, you're talking about like a $20 million deal annually on average, right? That's roughly out of $180 million. You're looking at an 11% would be roughly around $20 million. Maybe there's Jacksonville or someone else wants to offer him 15 or 25 million a year. Then he really has to weigh out whether or not it's important to compete or is it important to get paid, since this is the last time he's probably going to get paid. And so I think that his intent is to come back to San Francisco, but if he gets some outrageous offer, then that may be something that he looks at.
Well, you got to remember what he said too before. He said when he first came with the Niners, he wasn't looking for money. He was looking to go to a competitive team. He was looking to, get into a locker room that, coming from Washington or whatever. So basically, like kind of what you're saying, and
I agree. Really, that's exactly what he said.
And I think, if the Chiefs or somebody like that's competitive makes him a good offer, I think he would take that. If you're talking the Jets and the Niners, but the Jets are giving him more money, I think he would go to the competitive team, more of a competitive team.
Sure.
So,
yeah, I just think he's leaving his.
What I said about.
What's that, Mike?
I think 11. I take back what I said about 11%. That's too high. So Jake Matthews has the highest cap figure for a left tackle at $20.22 million, and that's 10.83% of the cap space. So I would hope. So I would hope that the Niners offered Williams something like 8.5 to 9.5%. Like no more than that. I'm not getting close to the top guy because he's too old for that. I really don't want them to bring him back. I really don't. But that's just me. But so yeah.
I really don't think the cap. I really don't think we're going to lose as much as we think that we're going to lose for the cap.
Oh no, we are.
Once this TV deal's announced, I think we maybe $7 million under what it was supposed to be.
Here's the issue. I know that people keep talking about this TV deal, and yes, it will affect the cap for this year, but most of it affects the cap for next year because games still have the opportunity to be canceled next season. So, like, remember when they kept postponing that Titans game? We ended up having like a fucking Wednesday night football game or some shit like that.
Right.
Y'all remember that shit? The only reason that game still happens because TV deals were worked in like, hey, you promised. Well, now that they have this COVID shit, those promises, they know they may not be able to keep those promises. And so the majority of that TV deal money is going to affect the future. There is some that's going to come here. I think this cap is going to top out at 191. That's the highest it could possibly be, which is still a loss compared to what it was last year.
Sure, but we'll take the extra $11 million if that's what it ends up being.
Right.
What was it supposed to be this year? 221?
No, it was supposed to be 220, right?
I'm asking. I don't remember.
202?
It was 2 something, right?
It was just over 200 million. I'm pretty sure.
Eric, like, yeah, whatever, man. I don't fucking know.
That'd be a few more players. Shoot.
Right, but you're saying if it was supposed to be 200, you're saying 191. That's only $9 million. I said $7 million. So out of this TV deal. So we're $2 million off, which in cap space, that's not a whole lot. So I really just don't think we're going to be. I still think we're going to be in the 190 to 191 range area, 192 maybe.
But that's what I'm saying. I would say max. I think in reality, like I think in reality, we end up at like a 184 and some change. I really think that's what the number is going to be. But I think the max could be 191. But we don't know. None of us know, and we're going to see. I think that they actually have to announce it very soon, right? It's in like
what the cap doesn't have to come out until the day that the new league year starts, technically.
Which is when?
The 18th, 17th, something like that. March.
We got like 3 weeks, 3-4 weeks, something like that.
The 17th, I think, is the day.
Yeah, we'll be all right. We'll find it out, man. We'll find it out. I don't fucking know.
I thought it didn't have to be.
Nobody thinks there's a percentage deal done, right? That's what we're sticking with.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that I think that he's going to hold true to his word, and he's going to see what his value is on free agency.
March
All right.
17th.
Let's play a game. You guys are all Adam Peters, right? I'm Jed York. I pull you into the office. I say, hey, O'Brien, I don't like what's going on here. I don't know who's to blame, but I got to get rid of somebody. Either Kyle Shanahan or John Lynch.
John Lynch.
Yeah, John Lynch.
Is that unanimous?
That's unanimous. If somebody's going to take the bullet, it's going to be him.
I'm not getting rid of a coach. Like, he knows how to coach. Like,
does Kyle know how to coach?
Oh yeah, he knows how to coach. Now, there's certain,
This is you're talking to the same guy who said we don't hang championship banners. We don't care about being NFC champs. We hang Super Bowl banners.
Yeah, no, but Kyle knows how to coach.
Kyle don't know how to coach in the Super Bowl. You talking
yes,
to
he
me?
Does.
No, he don't. We saw him blow 2 leads. No, he don't. Hey, I'm playing devil's advocate, bro. Don't get frustrated with me.
Yeah.
First of all, you can't really hold him accountable for Dan Quinn's ordeal in Atlanta. He wasn't the head coach.
I mean,
Kyle was calling plays on the offense.
You can't hold him accountable for what happened with that game.
Everybody, you can always hold somebody accountable, but yes, there are certain things that are out of a coach's hands, and there were several things in that game where he made the good call. The result didn't play out very well. Same thing that happened in the Super Bowl with the 49ers. There were good calls. The execution was poor.
Well,
so, I mean, I guess if you want to blame him.
Execute.
No, it's right there. Like, if I'm calling a play and this is open and you don't make the throw or the ball gets batted down, I can't do anything about that. I called the right play. It was open. It was there to be had. The execution wasn't there.
It's on the players.
I don't want to say it's
No,
on the, there's just certain things that, like, because even in the Atlanta game, if people don't remember this, and nobody thinks about this, in that Atlanta Super Bowl game,
if that running
there
back
was a pass that was completed. No, late in that game on that last drive, there was a pass that was completed, and they got called back for holding.
Yeah.
Like, that was something that kind of really gets overlooked a lot. Like, the game was won with that.
The sack play, my man was wide open on the right side, but the running back didn't make the block.
Right. I mean, so there's certain things where it's like, he drew up. But I mean, a lot of that led up to that last drive. But I say on the last drive, like, they completed a pass, and that was it. And the play got called back for holding
in the first half too, and it came back for
right. So there are a lot of people that want to give him a hard time for that stuff. Like, I think Kyle has done. He's an excellent coach.
Kyle coached shook in the Super Bowl. 10-10.
We didn't have the refs on our side either. To be fair.
A minute 53, you get the ball back, and you didn't call a single timeout until the big play by Wilson. He coached shook against a coach who went for it twice on fourth down in that same first half. He coached shook. He was just happy to be in it. Oh, it's 10-10. Let's go to the locker room. Let's just
I think, and people have said this to me, but I kind of like shook it off. But I think that speaks more to like possibly how he feels about his quarterback more so than, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think with his quarterback, maybe he was like, yeah, I'm just happy to go into the locker room at this point. You know what I'm saying? If he had Aaron Rodgers, do you think he would have coached it the same way?
All right, so you think that he was coaching conservative at the end of the first half because of Jimmy?
I think Jimmy is prone to make some weird throws at times. And if you can limit that from happening, and I'm not saying he didn't make good throws. He was very efficient in, heading into the fourth quarter. So he was very efficient, but he does do some weird things at times. And
okay. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm really, really sorry to cut you off. But if I'm Jed York and I'm coming to you and I'm having this conversation about you're Adam Peters, we're deciding between Lynch and Shanahan, and you are telling me this, why is Jimmy still on this roster if you feel this way about him?
Because they can't find a clear upgrade. That's been the whole conversation. There are a lot of people that think like, oh, it's no. He wants to upgrade. Kyle wants to upgrade. He wants to. He thought he was about to with Stafford until he saw the price. He said, God damn, the Panthers offered the 8th overall pick, Teddy Bridgewater, and another pick. I can't compete with that. We're not even going to offer anything. So we're pulling out. That was his one chance to where he could really upgrade, and he was going to do it. But he couldn't do it with what was offered.
That deal was already done before anything.
Right. So then it's like, okay, what else is a clear upgrade from Jimmy Garoppolo?
Sam Darnold.
No.
No, it's not. It's not. So that's why. So
it's happening. Y'all should.
I can. I mean, I'm not in the rooms, but I
go
can
get Daniel Jones.
Damn near guarantee. I can damn near guarantee that conversation with wanting to upgrade the position has been had in that front office. The issue is how do we do it without just blowing the whole shit up?
But so here's my thing. John Lynch, I understand that you all said John Lynch is the guy. John Lynch is the guy, right? And I understand it. You don't want to get rid of a good head coach. But John Lynch, I think, is proven he is a really good GM.
I think he is good.
They have tested beyond the depth of the 53-man roster. They have run through the practice squad 3 out of the 4 years here. All of the practice squad players have played on this team 3 out of the 4 years here. Even Peter Tamupinu got snaps. You understand what I'm saying?
Like, I got Peter.
Yeah, they've gone through every single position.
But you know what, though?
How many of those guys that came to this team said specifically they came here because of Kyle? They didn't come here because of John Lynch.
Well, that's the thing. No, but hold on.
John Lynch have a history. That's
this is who it's really about. And I started to kind of read between the lines with things and started to understand a little bit where you have your NFL personnel guy who is Martin Mayhew. That's your guy that helps you find guys who can fit your skill position. And then Kyle picks the guys of that he feels he wants. And then you got Peters, who is your draft guy. And he, like, you know what I'm saying, everything gets filtered through him to the draft, and he brings the guys to the okay, these are the guys, blah, blah. And then Kyle picks who he wants. John Lynch, and I'm not saying that he has no say in anything. I'm pretty sure he does to some extent. But I don't think he's necessarily the guys that he's picking from have been brought to him. It's not like John Lynch or Kyle Shanahan are going out finding.
John Lynch don't do any work.
No, I'm not saying that. Like I think he's good at what he does. I just don't know what he does.
No, I think he's probably real good about greasing the skids and getting on the phone calls and having those good, professional conversation with the other GMs to get things accomplished. But like Eric said,
but I'm not saying he doesn't pick guys. I'm saying the guys that he does pick are brought to him.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what Peter's job is. That's what Peter's job is. That's what Mayhew's job was. We're gonna bring you guys. Here's the little bowl of guys who we feel would fit at this spot. Now, you and Kyle decide where you want to go from there. But here's the groceries. You got to decide what you want to cook for dinner. Well, I think that's how it happens.
You've heard guys on the scouting department say, this is how we do it. Our scouting department goes out and scouts the guys that they think will fit the system. They bring that back to such and such. They take guys out of that and they take it to John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan and say, here's out of all the guys that we've scouted, here's the group. Here's the group that we think fits best. Then they start digging into the film and watching more and more film. And one of the scouting guys said this, like, I think it was a guy who scouted George Kittle or something. He was talking about when it was get to know the scouts or whatever, when the Niners did that thing.
Yeah.
He was physically talking about this is because they were like, what is your job? And they're like, well, we go out, we scout all these college players and NFL players and things like that. And we get a group, we take them to such and such, and then they go through the group. So let's say we take 50 guys to them, and then the next crew breaks it down to 25 guys, and then the 25 guys take it to them, and then they break it down to line their board up of how they would take those certain positions.
But
so I mean, it's a hand in hand with everything.
Yeah, but saying all that, I think it's harder to find a Kyle Shanahan than it is a John Lynch. There are people who, I mean, shoot, I listen to Louis Riddick all the time. If you were to say, right now you have to fire John Lynch, and I'd be like, all right, let me go get this guy Louis Riddick. You know what I'm saying? Because I've listened to him enough. Like I listen to podcasts, I listen to all these different things. He's a high level guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I can find someone to replace John Lynch before I can find somebody to replace Kyle Shanahan. I think
wasn't Louis Riddick in the GM conversation with the Niners?
He didn't pick him, and it was like, it wasn't that desirable of a spot anyway.
Yeah,
I remember.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Salty.
Yeah, he was all butthurt.
Yeah, he was. It's cool. It's only 32 of those positions out there. I get it. I understand that he's a little upset about it, but now we have a VP or an assistant to the GM, which is Adam Peters, and that's why I was coming to you guys as him. So it was a clean sweep in favor of getting rid of John Lynch, and that's interesting. And as much as I want to be like, oh, fuck y'all, I'm a John Lynch guy, I have to agree with you guys. I really do. Like, it's just,
I like John Lynch. I hate how people talk about him like he's just incompetent and like stupid.
Yes.
I don't get that part. I think he's been as big a part of all the success, whatever, if that's what you want to call it. But I mean, a team that rebuilt in 3 years and went to the Super Bowl, I think he's been as big a part of that as anyone else.
I can tell you that the Niners don't land Richard Sherman without John Lynch. I know that for a fact. They don't get him. They don't get Richard Sherman without John Lynch.
They don't get Trent Williams without John Lynch either.
Kyle Shanahan.
I can't.
I'm saying that because of how much Washington didn't like the Shanahans.
Okay. All right.
So that's why I'm saying it, because I know Trent would come here because of Kyle, but I'm saying with the animosity that the front office in Washington has with Kyle Shanahan, I think John Lynch played a big role in that. And
Mayhew?
No, what the guy that took over as coach in there from Carolina.
Rivera.
No, not Turner. He's talking about Rivera.
Yeah, Ron Rivera.
I thought you said Turner.
No. I said the guy that took over.
Yeah, Rivera.
From Carolina. I think those two had a huge part because of the relationship between Rivera and John Lynch.
I heard Rivera say something interesting about Cam Newton, saying that it's not off the table for Cam to go over there and compete for a spot. Is Cam Newton's career done in the NFL? What do you guys think? Did you guys listen to the I Am Athlete podcast, or is it just me?
No.
Yeah, I watched half of it. I'll probably watch the rest of it tonight.
Okay, so my cousin's one of those black quarterbacks. I love him, right? And I get that. I understand that from his perspective. But he was like, this was a great podcast. This was a great podcast. Cam Newton annoyed the shit out of me in this podcast. I feel like, you ever hear somebody brag about not bragging about the charity they do? Let me ask that question again. You ever hear somebody brag about not bragging about the charity that they do?
Yeah, so they were bragging, saying that they don't brag.
About the charity they do.
About the charity, yeah. I've never heard it, no, but yeah.
Listen, Eric, did you hear that part yet?
I wouldn't even listen to it because you guys know I'm not a Cam Newton fan, so I wouldn't even care.
The podcast is good anyway. They have a bunch of ex-NFL players in there.
Don't you have your Cam Newton at your feet there, Nick?
Yeah.
Chad Johnson's on there. Brandon Marshall's on there. Like it's a really it's a really good podcast.
Like, it's a really good podcast. I don't miss an episode. I don't miss any episodes.
You don't? What'd you say?
I said I don't miss any episode. Like I watch.
I love that podcast, and I don't watch it. I only get to listen to it. I wish they didn't bleep as much stuff out. They have this thing where like they wanted to be kid friendly. Like I want to hear them curse and get passionate. I don't like that they bleep stuff out on the podcast, but
Do you watch it on? You don't watch it on YouTube?
I drive all day long. I'm in the car, so I have the actual podcast. I just download the audio and listen that way. So, it is what it is. But it's a really good.
Do you listen to the women's version?
What do you mean?
They have the women too.
No, not on the stream.
It's like I am woman. It's on the same thing.
That's a whole. No, it's not. Hold on.
Yes, it is.
What?
Yeah, you can never tell Mikey's wrong,
bro. Oh shit.
Oh shit. Yeah, he sees it now.
Yo, look how sexist I am. Hold on, wait. Yo, it's. Can this screen?
Is it like right underneath what you're doing?
Yeah, right there.
Yo, I swear on everything that shit wasn't here before.
It said no need to lie about it.
Oh, they only got 3 episodes. That's why.
They just started it.
Okay, that's why.
It's their wives, and
Oh, okay. So with this Cam Newton one, I skipped ahead because I'm not all the way caught up. So if you look, all right. See now I don't feel bad. Okay, so y'all can see this, right? The green check on this side means that I just listened to it. If you look at the last one I listened to. It's been I'm still catching up.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see what
you're saying. You see, I'm way down here still.
Yeah.
And then the I Am Woman don't start until
we see it.
So I haven't caught up yet. That's why I missed it. My cousin was just talking so much shit about the Cam Newton was so good. It was so good. It was so good. So I skipped ahead, and I'm like, man, what? Like, all right, cool. I get it.
It's informative. Talking about the Patriot way and all that.
Yes, I like the breakdown that the three players had from the Patriots way, and I liked Cam Newton did something that was really interesting. I wish you guys listened to it. He defended McDaniels really quick, and for no reason. I almost felt like he was campaigning for a job still, but it's okay. We'll get it. Yeah, it's all good. Any final thoughts, guys? We've been on for over 2 hours. I'm sorry. We talked a lot of Niners stuff here. Yeah, I feel like we only focused on a couple of groups here. Who are the starting running backs for the Niners, Eric, next year? No, don't give me starters. Who are your top 3 running back choices?
Most
free agents if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with guys that they have. Like I don't think it really needs to be addressed. I like Mostert. I like Wilson. I think that could be a really good 1-2 punch. Obviously, you would like them to stay healthy and stay away from the high ankle sprains. And then, a guy like JaMychal Hasty, and I'm pretty sure they'll find another undrafted free agent to just kind of, huh?
You bringing Coleman back?
No, I'm not. Nah.
Are you bringing Juice back? Don't say that.
It wouldn't be my first. Like, it wouldn't be a priority to me.
Right.
Where I think most other people, they probably would, make him a priority. I don't think I would make a priority. I think I would just make it something to where, like, all right, let's see how we do these things, and then if we have something for Juice, all right, let's keep Juice, and now we can keep the same offense. If not, I think Kyle has to have some sort of different version of an offense that he has in mind.
Okay, I like that. Nick, I'm gonna give you a different position group, different question. Who's your third receiver going into the season? You can include free agents, anybody on the roster, but we know that there's Ayuk and Samuel already. I want you to give me who your third receiver is going to be going into the season. If you had it your way, it could be rookie, free agent, someone on the roster, all the above.
I would like to see Hurd or Jennings, but I'm going to go with Kendrick Bourne.
Ooh, bringing him back. Okay. All right. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. Look at Brian. I see. Don't look so disgusted with your hand over your mouth, bro. Like you ain't hide that well at all. What's up?
Don't get me started on Kendrick Bourne.
You don't like KB? Nothing on it. Huh?
I have no problems with KB. I just don't want to bring him back at the price tag he's probably going to want.
Well, I mean, he's going to want $20 million a year, but what's he going to get?
Well, no, find out from some other team. Because he's
his agent will tell him exactly.
Yeah, he's going to get paid more somewhere else than he's going to get with the San Francisco 49ers.
How much y'all really think Bourne getting a year? 5.6?
I think he can get 5 a year.
Yeah,
I'd say 5.5.
That's tops. I don't think that's a lot if you spread it out over 4 years. I don't think that's a lot at all. You break that down over 4 years. You can do bonus money and roster bonuses. You're talking a $2 million cap hit a year. That's nothing. That's not a lot. But I digress. Brian, my question for you is this: forget the starter. How many new faces are in the quarterback room this year? You can include the starter, forget the starter. I'm not asking you to put them in. This is the starter, this is the backup. How many new faces, which means not Rosen, not Johnson, not Garoppolo. How many new faces are in the quarterback room this year?
Well, going with everything that I know of so far from the information that's been put out, I'll say one.
Okay.
Because I think those three will go into camp with somebody else from the draft, probably, unless they can find, like I said, like a Mariota for a backup kind of ordeal, Fitzpatrick's for a backup, or something like that.
I got you.
So unless they're going to find a veteran backup, then I expect either way one new person to be in the quarterback room. Unless they find a vet and go to the draft, then there's possibility for two, but that means they're going to say goodbye to Josh Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why I was asking you how you think it plays out.
If I was going to put my quarterback room together, I would keep Jimmy where he's at. I'd go out and I'm going to keep Rosen because we're going to see what we can get from him. I go acquire a second tier vet or whatever you want to call them.
I like that.
And then you go and you get someone like your guy Newman or Trask or somebody in the
both of those are my guys. Both of those are my guys.
I'm not huge on Ian Book, maybe Sam Ellinger, but somebody from further back in the draft, somebody you can get between 4 and 6, probably.
All right. So you're talking 5 guys.
No, because I think Josh goes away if that happens. So,
okay.
So at most you see two new faces.
I like it though. I still like it. That's very, very good. All right, that's gonna do it for us tonight, man. I don't have any questions. Anybody else have any final thoughts? Any questions? Anyone want to ask me anything? No, we're gonna get out of here. Nick, final thoughts?
Croc, I need one of those old hoodies.
I'll see if I get some made.
Speaking of old hoodies, man, we have somebody who has been looking for one of our old hoodies, Nick, and I realized that those were the ones I believe that were being done by an outside vendor.
Yeah.
So John V is looking for one of the old hoodies. So
John, just hit me up. I'll get you in contact with somebody who can do it.
Yeah. So those are the ones I can't help with. So we'll try to get that done for John V. Eric, any final thoughts? I know that you were a guest on here, but we always, before we wrap up, we open the floor for final thoughts to anybody who was on.
Oh no, man! I appreciate y'all, having me on. A lot of people don't know, man. I started on Nothing But Niners with everything, talking about sports. You guys kind of were the first people to give me that platform to.
We tried to get you to write.
Give my thoughts. I know I'm not really a writer.
He said I can't write. Next thing you know, there's like 50 articles coming out in like 2 days.
But I didn't write. I just put down secrets. I put down a whole bunch of thoughts. And then it was edited.
No, I know. I'm just
well done. Well done. I like that. That's PR.
Rob, you're always welcome here, man. Anytime you want to jump on.
Yeah, no, I still get Croc is still saved in my phone as Eric Crocker NBN. So
yeah,
mine too.
That's how
mine
I got
too.
It's not changing. So
he said mine too.
Mine too.
You gotta still save that way. I like that.
But Mike, me, you, and anybody else that has Croc's number has like numbers, but it's like not like a phone number. It's like 1008 because that's how many messages he has to go through to get to that message.
Nah, man.
He's Hollywood over there, man.
Yo,
Hollywood, man.
If Hollywood messages me back within 3 hours, I feel like I'm special. Text message wise. Man, Croc, it's always a blessing, man, to have you. So appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
1000%, man. And Brian, man, for you also, man. Final thoughts for you.
Who's that said? I'm looking at the chat. They said let's get Tyrone Gross on there.
I can't. I haven't. I'm in full screen mode. Let me see.
I know. I just took it down. It's funny because Tyrone he just texted me. We have to play our game at Madden.
Don't show his number. Wait, chill. His number.
It's just his name.
All right. Hold on. You can see let me make it full screen then. Hold up.
Today, 10 p.m. And I'm Central Time.
Wait, put it back up. Let me see. I'm putting you full screen. Let me see.
Tyrone.
Better call Tyrone.
What's your schedule? What's your schedule tomorrow now? He said, you cousin, you acting like she wants to watch a show. Oh man.
So y'all supposed to be playing Madden?
We're supposed to be, but he talking about his wife.
Okay.
Yeah, he talking about his wife is trying to get out of it.
And they be tripping like that, man. My wife then came out here like 3 times, and they be like that sometimes. I downloaded the new map pack of Call of Duty Zombies tonight. I mean, this morning when I left for work, I got to get on the sticks, man. She gonna be bothering me and everything, you know what I'm saying? But it's all good, man. They be hating. There's always tomorrow. Brian, final thoughts for you, man. You've been rocking out with us. I like your Texas, San Francisco.
No Texas.
Let me tell you the other thing that's been.
I turn around to look at the green screen, because I'm a dumbass.
Because you can't see it the way that we can. But listen to this, right? Here's another thing about your layout, right? So the top of your shirt, the red part, where right there, that there is the exact same angle as the top of the bridge in your background. And I know you can't see that, so I'm sorry. So I've been trying to figure out this whole show if that triangle is supposed to be the same triangle from the the Golden Gate Bridge. It's been bothering me the whole time.
What are you talking about?
I know. I don't know how to explain it.
This triangle, that's a building. That's not part of the bridge.
No. The triangle over your left shoulder.
This on the bridge.
Yes, the bridge itself. You see, it looks like a backwards 4.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
That looks like the red on the same side of your chest, on the left side of your chest right there. Well, my left, I don't know if it's left or right, but yeah, right there. Underneath that same shoulder. I've been trying to figure out if it's the same one and if it's like that's what it's supposed to be. I don't care. What's up, man? Your final thoughts, bro?
Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah. No, I don't have any. I mean, thanks, Eric, for coming on the show, obviously, or welcome back to the show. Appreciate getting to, get some information from you. That was good. Like I say every show, let's just keep it kind of rocking because it's going to be minimal information until the free agency starts. So, I mean, we'll get some tags and stuff to come down the next couple of weeks, but that's about it. It's going to be pretty lonesome.
Yeah. And as far as me, I don't really have any final thoughts, man. Eric, how's Kanan doing?
Kanan, so did I tell you I rehomed him?
Oh no, really?
Yeah, when we were moving to when we decided to move to Arkansas, the apartment complex we were living in, it specifically said no cane corsos. Yeah. So it broke our heart, broke my wife's heart. My daughter still asks about him every day. But we got him with a really good family out in Tahoe, in Lake Tahoe, which is in like Nevada or whatever in that area.
Yeah, it's like right on the border.
The cool thing, or not cool thing, but people offered us a lot of money for him. We didn't want the money. We just wanted him to go to a good home. So we got him to a really good home. The lady sends us videos like every week.
Oh,
she'll send us videos, send us pictures and everything like that. So, but we miss him for sure. That was my baby. That was my baby for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Big ass baby. I mean, he's 140 pounds. So
yeah, he was not little.
I know, and I mean, I had him when I first got him. He fit in my hand.
Yeah, I remember when you first got him, watching him grow up. I'm like, damn, that thing's getting big as hell already.
By 4 months, he was like, and then by about 9 months, he was like 90 pounds, and he just kept getting big. I mean, looked good too. Somebody asked, "What's a cane corso?" It's a cane corso. It's a Italian Mastiff. So it kind of looks like he kind of looked like a pit bull, but like a jumbo pit bull.
It looks like a brindle pit on like super steroids. Like
yeah.
This is a picture of a brindle pit. You click the corner and you drag it out, and it gets bigger.
Yeah,
that's what they look like. Yeah,
they're like 2 times the size of a pit
bull. I was gonna show you Niner because I kept comparing Niner size to.
Yeah, how's Niner look?
He's right here. Come here, Poppy. I don't know if y'all saw my camera shaking. Like he's not supposed to be up on the furniture, so he's acting real like crazy right now. Let me see if I could. So Niner.
Oh, look at him. He looks good.
What's up, Poppy? Oh, he's gone. Okay. Oh, that's all head. Okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, so he's doing good, man. Niner, last time we weighed him, he actually just went to the vet 2.5 weeks ago. He actually has an appointment on Monday, follow up. 94 pounds. So he's nowhere. He's not going to get as big as a Corso because they're taller and they're a little bit thicker. You know what I'm saying? So he's not going to get that big. But Niners,
that's still good. That's a nice sized dog, though.
Yeah, no, he's supposed to stop at 90. I want to try to get him up to 100, but you know,
I will say this: the bigger they get, the heavier and stuff like that. They do tend to have like hip problems and stuff like that. If he's made to be like 90 pounds, I would kind of keep him at that weight.
Yeah, that's the same with boxers. Boxers get hip issues too. Like,
yeah, we had to put our Rottweiler down because of hip dysplasia also, and so I just figure if I can get his weight up and exercise him a lot, then he'll be okay. You know, keep him active. But man, this dog, he's crazy. He's got way too much energy for me, man. And he does this thing. All right, I'm gonna say this and then we get out of here, right? He does this thing where he knows when I'm home and when I'm not. So like the second I leave, he don't listen to anybody in the house. He's like, yo, I'm a man now. I ain't gotta listen to nobody. And there's a couple of times where like I'll sneak in and like surprise him. You know what I mean? Like I won't close the front door. He knows what it sounds like when we close the front door and my car starts. He hears all that shit. So I'll go start the car, but I won't close the door all the way because you guys have heard when I open my doors, you hear the beep, 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 beep from the ADT. So I won't close the door all the way. I'll start my car. He thinks I drove away. I'll be in the house. My wife will let him back in the kennel, or she'll let him outside. And then when she brings him back in, she'll be like, go home. That's what we say for him to go to the kennel. Go home. He'll go in there, but then he'll growl at her when she go to close the door. Like he's at the rebellious teenager. I've ever seen in my life. Like, and like, if he don't know I'm home, I'm like, Niner. She says, like, when I yell, he ducks down, like he winces, like, oh shit, like he gonna get me. So, you know, it's nuts. Like they're just like kids, man. Like they know who they can get away with shit and who they can't. So I didn't know that one asked about Keenan. I'm sorry, man. I hope I didn't open any soft wounds. I can't, Nick, you know. Same thing with, you know, our girl Allie. I'm sorry, man. You know,
yeah,
I don't ask about her anymore. So thought I could do it with Croc, and now I found out the truth. All right, so shut up. Y'all will never see Niner again on the show now. I'm sorry, man. But that's it for us tonight, man. We thank you all for rocking out with us. Almost 2.5 hours of a show. Appreciate you guys, and I can't wait to do it again. Guys, man, stay faithful out there. We're going to continue to keep you guys abreast of the latest news concerning your favorite team, the San Francisco 49ers. And if you are a hater and you are watching because you happen to be a Seahawks, Cardinals, or Rams fan, you too, thank you for tuning in. We really, really appreciate it. That's going to do it for us here tonight. All right, I'm going to point us out. You ready? Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always
remain faithful.
Let's go.
Let's go.
He nailed it, baby.